690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is accused by team employees of overseeing a toxic and sometimes hostile organization. Allegedly, Sarver has used racially insensitive and lewd language in the office and also displayed inappropriate and misogynistic conduct. The vice chairman of the Suns, Jam Najafi, has released a statement saying that the alleged conduct is unacceptable and that he supports full accountability. For the second day in a row, Browns wideout Odell Beckham Jr. is excused from practice. ESPN's Booger McFarland.
I think when this is all said and done, he's played his last down for the Cleveland Browns. So what are we doing here besides twiddling our thumbs and wasting time? We ultimately know what the inevitability is going to end at. He is not going to be a Brown. So why they didn't trade him at the trade deadline, I have zero idea.
Booger McFarland on Greeny. Beckham is unhappy in Cleveland, and the two sides are talking about potential next steps. The Lakers host the Thunder tonight in Los Angeles. LeBron James is out with an abdominal strain. Reds outfielder Nick Castellanos opts out of his contract with the team. He'll become a free agent. He had 2 years and $34 million left on a deal. He's coming off one of the best seasons of his career.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey, welcome in here on a Thursday edition of Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, along with Austin Lane. We're live at String Sports Brewery here on a Thursday, as we always are, leading up to Jaguars All Access. That will come up at 7 o'clock. Shaq Griffin will join us ahead of the Buffalo Bills game this week. Oh, baby, I've been seeing some Bills fans around town already, Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's plenty that live down here, too, you know. But I ran it even in the neighborhood today. I was walking around, I was like, hey, the Bills fans can't wait to go to this game and see their team. And there's, you know, keep in mind, man, the Bills, although they went the early Super Bowls, as we've talked about, they've had some lean years over the last 30 years, too. And they're excited about this football team, as they should be, excited about their quarterback. And it's really weird. It's like I was talking to a neighbor, Bills fan, came from up in that area, and they're going, and it's weird to be like a Bills fan and like know you're going to win on Sunday. You know, that was my impression. It was like, hey, this is going to be a blast. Like, we don't even have to worry about winning the game. We're just like going to have some fun going to see our team play, and we know we're going to win the game. It's just by a matter of how much. You know, it's like the Patriots fans have kind of had that for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
There are some teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers that kind of go into every game and kind of think that because they've won a lot. There are teams like that across the league, but I mean, it's not the Bills. You know, it's just kind of funny to see the Bills feel that way, especially coming in here to Jacksonville.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I felt that way week one against Houston when the Jaguars played them. I thought the Jaguars are gonna win, so I think we all did. So I can't really relate to feeling like that because that was 1 week, and then obviously all that hype and motivation went away. But yeah, I mean, you know, this team's obviously one of the best teams in the AFC, and they're playing a Jaguars team right now, coming off of the worst loss, maybe the second worst loss of the season, depending how you put it. If I'm a Bills fan, I'd be feeling pretty good about Sunday for sure.
Yeah, I would too. And I said this today, and I'll just jump right into the show. I was thinking of it. I do this final analysis thing for Jaguars.com, and I try to come up with, I mean, you could say the same thing every week, right? I mean, if the Jaguars rush for 200 yards, you know, or if Trevor Lawrence throws 4 touchdowns, the Jags will win. And we do this thing where it's like Jags win if, Bills win if, and what's going to happen in the game. And so it gets me thinking about, like, certain statistics and stuff. And one of them was turnovers because I started to write it, and I was like, listen, I think this has to be one of the games. We know the Jags have really struggled this year in getting turnovers, and they've got 2. All year. That includes the preseason. I know we're not supposed to include the preseason, but it just exacerbates the point if you include now 10 games instead of the 7. But then it got me thinking. I was like, all right, I really feel like when you're an underdog like this and you're not very good and they are very good, well, you really have to have some things go your way. Like you might have to have 3 or 4 turnovers. And then even if you have one, now you're +2 or +3. So, like, you really have to get it going. And I mean, even if you look at Houston, right, they forced the Jags into 3 turnovers in that Week 1 game. And that's probably why they won the game. So I went back and I looked up. The Brent Sports Bureau was at work this morning. And I had to go all the way. I was like, all right, let's go through every game. Let's go see. How many times? When can I get to a time where the Jags forced 3 turnovers in a game? And so you go through all last year. Not surprising, right? Because, I mean, they won 1 game. You're going to win more than one if you're forcing 3 turnovers in a game. And so now you go back. I'm like, golly, how far am I going to have to go back here? I just kept going back 2019. And I finally got to the Jets on October 27th of 2019 against the Jets. The Jaguars were able to force 3 turnovers in that game. Mm-hmm. And that is the only time, that is the last time, the Jaguars have forced more than 2 turnovers in a football game, which, is a hard thing to do, Austin, but it's not that hard to do. I mean, there are games that you have that. That's 31 regular season games where the Jacksonville Jaguars have forced 2 or fewer. And I will say this, in 10 of the 31, they forced none. I mean, that is an alarming stat. We have now been talking about forcing turnovers for going on 2 years in Jacksonville, and that is why their record says what it is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you win the turnover battle, that definitely increases your chances of winning. And I think there's been opportunities for turnovers that have presented themselves for the Jaguars. They just haven't capitalized on them. And that, to me, is what separates a great defense from a mediocre defense to a bad defense, is when those opportunities present themselves, do you make the play? Do you make the quarterback sack, or does he spin away from you or duck his shoulder and you miss the tackle? When the ball's in your hands from an interception, do you catch that ball or do you drop it and then it's 3rd down now because you couldn't secure that ball? If there's a fumble on the ground, do you get the ball or does the offense get the ball back? It's just every single game will present opportunities for big plays, for momentum swings, and for turnovers. It's just the fact of, can you capitalize on those opportunities?
Okay, so then I got thinking about it. I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's opportunity, right? I mean, Shaq Griffin this year had 3 passes that were, possible interceptions, some more likely than others. But I think it would be hard-pressed to say he should have made all 3 plays. He could have made all 3 plays, probably should have made a play or 2. They get a pick the other day, Herndon, but, I mean, that was kind of like a free play, and I think that's why they threw the pick. So, but at least they had it. Well, they jumped off sides. So maybe there's a fumble. Really, there haven't been many fumbles, at least, to even pounce on, quite frankly. So maybe there's a fumble that squirts away and offensive lineman jumps on it. So I get it. I get what you're saying.
Quarterback sacks, Caleb Von Chase. Was that Houston? Or what game was that where – there's been a couple of quarterback sacks that probably should have been quarterback fumbles, but they missed the tackle on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Tua had one. I think there was one in Tyrod Taylor, so there's been a couple of those as well.
That's a good call, okay? And they're not getting the turnovers. Now, it's a sack, it's a forced fumble, it's all that, but it's not the turnover. And that flips the field and maybe changes the game, and et cetera. But, okay, Austin, they're 1-6. They were 1-15 last year. They didn't do well at the end of 2019 either if you go back through this part of the streak. And, by the way, I could have probably made these numbers even worse. Like, I just stopped looking. I could probably go all the way back to the first month of 2018 when they were 3-1, and I bet this speaks of a similar story. So there might be 4 games since 2018 in September that they've forced 3 or more turnovers. But what I get to, especially coming off the last 2 years, is they're not good enough. Mm-hmm. They're just not good enough on defense from a player standpoint. I hate to say that because you don't want to – listen, they got some good players on defense. They don't have enough good players. They don't have game-changing players. And I know I'm not like breaking news here. Hey, Brent, nice job, man. They're not good enough. Great. Like, I get it, but what it does is it really puts an exclamation point on you don't have enough playmakers. You don't have enough blue-chip guys. You don't have enough good players on that side of the ball, a la 17 and 18. Now, 17 was such a weird year that they created so many turnovers and touchdowns. It was like, holy cow, you can't count on doing that every year. But they had enough players to force turnovers and think that going into a game, they were going to get a turnover. They were going to get a game-changing play. Heck, they might even score. I mean, I remember talking about that 2017-18 team, and even 18 sometimes when they started to go bad, and be like, all right, defense needs to score right here. And that was not like this pie-in-the-sky thought. Like they might be able to do it because they could get a sack fumble from Jan, and somebody could scoop and score it, Telvin Smith pick, whatever it might be. Well, what the last couple of years and that stat that I pulled out today says is, man, they're just not good enough to get them. Because if you think of the teams that do get them, that means they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of playmakers. They have perennial Pro Bowlers. They have big money guys. And it's just like Urban Meyer can go up on that podium and talk every week about it. Joe Cullen can go up every week and talk about, yeah, we need more turnovers. We need more turnovers. I've got news for them because I've seen it. There's a trend now of 31 straight games. Hey, guys, you're not good enough to get turnovers. Like, you don't have the players. It's not going to happen. Stop wishing for that to happen because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying for sure. But, like, if we talk about turnover differential, I mean, like, so, like, the Houston Texans, they've caused 9 turnovers this year. Is the Houston Texans defense that good?
No, that was actually a trend coming out of preseason, too, where they forced, like, 10 of them in 3 games. So they've been able to force turnovers.
Yeah, I think, like, you have, like, the Minnesota Vikings. They've caused 9 turnovers this year. Like, I don't think that the Minnesota Vikings defense is anything to write home about. But then you have a team like –
But also 9 turnovers in, like, 8 games is not a lot, you know?
Okay, but then do you think that the Ravens' defense is good?
I would say yes. It's not, like, elite good this year. That hasn't proven that yet, I don't think.
Do you think the Steelers' defense is good?
I think the Steelers are very sound, usually good defense, yes.
Do you think the Browns' defense is good?
I've been off and on, but, yeah, overall I'd say I'd sign up for it, sure.
Okay, so we talk about the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns. They've only created 6 and 5 turnovers this year. You know, so, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of –
they're not 6 and 1, though, right? I mean –
No, they're not. But, I mean, I think in the realm of things, I mean, I still consider Pittsburgh a pretty good defense. I think despite injuries, I think Cleveland Browns are a pretty good defense. I think the Baltimore Ravens have showed they can be a good defense. It's just the fact of you have to, you know, when the opportunity comes, you have to capitalize on it. You know, I mean, I see teams right now that are top in terms of takeaways. And, yeah, the Buffalo Bills are number 1, tied with the Colts right now. Well, the Colts have caused 18 takeaways, 18 turnovers this year. How's the Colts record?
Yeah, that was a good example. I was going to ask you that. The Bills make sense, right? How many
Bills make sense.
The Bills have? Bills have like 19?
The Bills have 18. So they're tied right now with the Colts.
Okay, and they've obviously done, like to your point, you started to say this turnover differential. They've done a better job of holding on to the football than the Colts. I mean, we just saw Carson Wentz make 2 stupid plays in the fourth quarter and overtime of that game to lose that game. But that's a good point. They've forced 18, which means they're not doing enough on the offensive side, most likely, because they're putting themselves in position to win football games. If you get 18 turnovers, man, you are putting yourself in position, probably on the plus side of the field, to cash in. And my guess is Indianapolis hasn't been able to do that. Who else is in, like, the top 10?
Top 10, we got Buffalo, Indianapolis, Dallas, Green Bay, which is really surprising to me. Arizona, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a little surprising to me, too, because I don't think their defense, I mean, you know,
they're hurt. Yeah, they're banged up.
Los Angeles Rams, the Patriots, the Saints, and the Titans. Okay,
so outside of the Patriots, and the Colts, all those teams are really good, and that's the formula in the NFL. Like we know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I mean obviously and it's like I led off with, like the more turnovers you have or that you've caused, the better chances that you have your odds of winning for sure.
Yeah, here's what I think. Like, it's interesting as you talk about those. I think, and the Buffalo Bills can be like this, but let's go with Green Bay. Although Green Bay's defense has been way better than anybody wants to give it credit for a while now. I mean, they've been solid defense. But let's go with Green Bay and let's go with the Tampa Bay Bucks, because I think the Bucks are an interesting one here. The Bucks on defense, I don't know what their sack totals are. My guess is sack totals and turnovers have been pretty good, but they still give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of yards. They have a lot of injuries in their secondary. But for those 2 clubs especially, and I'm just going to use them as an example, I do think the Bills could fit this category as well. They have offenses that kind of dictate the play. And so, like for Tampa, you got Tom Brady throwing 4 touchdowns in the first half of games, and they're up 28-10. Well, guess what's easy to do now? It's easy to play defense even if you're really not that good, right? Because teams are going to throw it 30 times in the second half. You're going to have more opportunities. And so I probably, like, Tampa feels like they might fall under a different umbrella than some of those teams. Like, Dallas has been ridiculous. I mean, Trevon Diggs alone has been ridiculous and changed who they are and why some of the reason that they have the record that they have. This Bills defense has been sound all around. And so people get it done in different ways. It is definitely part of the formula, though. And what is not part of the formula is having 2 turnovers and having no games over the last 31 that you've really put it together and they came in what? Bunches. You know what I never want to hear again? I never want to hear a coach tell me that they come in bunches because I haven't seen it in 2.5 years around here.
Well, no, I mean, and I hear you, but once again, I mean, the opportunities have been on the field. This team, for whatever reason, just hasn't capitalized. Because I compare it to the Houston Texans again. The Houston Texans are not a good football team. Their offense is not good. Their defense, I don't think is that good either. But for some reason, they found a way to garner 9 turnovers, to cause 9 turnovers. The Jacksonville Jaguars have caused 2. Like, that shouldn't happen. That, like, I get sometimes like there's outliers and there's anomalies in these numbers. But to tell me that the Houston roster has been able to create 9 turnovers and Jacksonville's only been able to cause 2, like, that goes to show me that, yeah, maybe you're not getting opportunities, maybe your players aren't good enough, but that goes to show me more than anything is that when the opportunities present themselves, you aren't capitalizing on that. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know if you address that in practice, if you work on tip drills in practice, if you have to work on getting the ball out, the strip sack drill. I don't know what you have to do, but I'm just saying that shouldn't be the situation.
This is great. I love this conversation with you because I think you bring up a good point. I understand what you're saying. You should have more than that even if you're not that good, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that. I think they have had opportunities. Again, Shaq Griffin, who we'll have on Jaguars All Access, he could really be having a nice first half of the year if he had come up with 2 of those interceptions. He's already played pretty sound football overall for a guy they brought in on a team that's not very good, which is hard to play good football on a team that's not very good right now. So I get what you're saying. And here's the thing. We've been all over the coaching at times in the first 7 games of the year for the Jags. This is, to me, not a coaching thing. This is a player thing, a talent thing, and maybe even like a football IQ thing. I've questioned that on this football team, on this defense especially, Austin. So, I know they're practicing and preaching turnovers. Everybody in the NFL does that. Pop Warner coaches do it. High school coaches do it. College coaches do it. NFL coaches do it. They preach it. They practice it. They strip at the ball. They do the jugs machine. They do tip drills. They do all that stuff. They try to strip sack fumble. They teach that. They preach that. I get it. So where do you think, and you said it, okay, the Jags defense isn't all that talented. They're not that good, but they have had opportunities. So is it a little bit of misfortune? Is it they're not as fast? Maybe they're a step slow? Do you chalk it up to talent? Or do you bring into the equation what I think in sports is the immeasurable, and that's instinct and IQ, right? I mean, some guys just have a nose for the football. You took Minkah Fitzpatrick. You think what Trevon Diggs right now is doing? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to have as many picks as he has. You think of a guy like Tyrann Mathieu over the years. He's just had this instinct to go get the ball, and it's not because he runs a 4.2, 4.40. It's because he's got the IQ and instinct to do it. If I broke those categories, instinct, IQ is one, talent is another, speed is another, and just luck versus unluck is another. Is it a little bit of every bucket, or is it one of more buckets, in your opinion, as a guy who used to play on defense?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit of every single bucket. I would say that primarily, talent does have something to do with it. If Jalen Ramsey got the same passes that Shaq Griffin had towards him, one would think, well, out of those 3 that Shaq Griffin defended but didn't make an interception, Jalen Ramsey maybe gets 2 of those balls for interception. So obviously talent is definitely a factor. I mean, the more talented guys you have on your defense, the more the odds go up that you can create turnovers. But it's also, to me, it's all about execution. That's probably the biggest thing outside of talent is executing the call on the field. whether it's your step slow to your blitz or your game that you're running up front, whether you're a step throw to the receiver because you read it just maybe a split second too late. I think it's execution more than anything.
Yeah, I would say. I get that. And by the way, I think you're right about talent. Listen, if you had this Jags defense of 17, there's no doubt why they had so many turnovers. They had great pass rush. They had speed. They had playmakers. They spent a lot of money on it. They were invested in the draft on it. I mean, this defense is not that. So, and my expectation is not for this defense to do that. My expectation is for this defense to force a turnover or two. And really, how did we get on this topic? Well, one, we looked it up, but two, how can you beat the Buffalo Bills? I mean, that's the only chance they have of beating the Bills, right? I mean, I know the NFL's weird, but even if you look at the Jets, how'd they beat the Bengals? Well, they got a late turnover in their own end that changed that game, or Cincinnati probably would have ran out the clock. I feel like they have to get a multiple turnover game, and I don't mean 2. I mean 3, 4 turnovers. It has to be a sloppy, bad game for the Buffalo Bills for the Jaguars to kind of surprise them.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're talking about the Jaguars' defense, what you have to do against Buffalo, if you watched any Buffalo Bills games this year, they're a pass-first team, even though they don't want to be. It goes against, I think, what Sean McDermott believes in terms of, passing first and running second. And it's not to say Singletary and Moss aren't great running backs. It's just the fact of, they haven't got it figured out. Josh Allen is usually your leading, ball carrier per game. And you saw that against their last game against Miami. So this is a team who I feel like they want to get the run game going eventually, but this isn't the week to do it for Buffalo, right? Because if you watch the Jaguars on defense, it's all about passing. It's all about Cole Beasley maybe having a big game. It's all about Stephon Diggs maybe having a big game. So I think you're going to focus more on the passing, which is kind of goes against the MO of the Jags defense in terms of stop the run first, stop the run first, stop the run first. I don't think you address the run first if you're the Jaguars defense this week. I think you come up with a game plan that's a little more tailored to like a guy like Patrick Mahomes, or a quarterback who you're worried about his arm. I'm worried about Josh Allen's arm right now. I'm not necessarily worried about Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, not as much as I'm worried about Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs. So if I'm trying to beat the Buffalo Bills, I show a new wrinkle on defense. I sometimes maybe only rush 3 guys, and that's going to fall on a lot of people saying, well, why would you do that? Because you can't get home to rush the passer. I understand that. But let's see what Josh Allen looks like if you drop back in zone coverage and all of a sudden things are taken away from him. How does he respond to that? And I think on offense, we'll see if James Robinson's good to go. Do we have word on that yet?
Nah, I mean, I don't think we'll know more until tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, so we have no idea about James Robinson yet. This is a defense that's one of the best defenses in the entire league. So if you have James Robinson, that's a plus because you got to slow this game down. You don't want to get into a track meet with the Buffalo Bills. If you can control the clock, slow the game down with James Robinson. If he's playing, providing, or else Carlos Hyde's got to step up, you got a better chance of winning as well.
Yeah, as you say that, actually, Jags injury report just came to my phone. So let me give you an update. James Robinson did not practice yesterday or today. That does not mean he can't play. But I do think if you kind of read the tea leaves on this, I think it's unlikely he will play. I don't think they want to do something that might put him out for the next 9 games after this. So I'm betting against James Robinson playing, although that's not the official word yet. Jags overall after that have been pretty healthy with the guys on the injury report. Hey, we'll be back String Sports Brewery here in Springfield on a Thursday. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hey, Austin and Casey, I invite you to do one thing if you haven't done it yet. Just take a look at the leaderboard at the Mayakoba Classic. Enjoy yourself during the break while you do that. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
How's Fowler doing? Check it out, Casey.
Hey, I looked at it. My guy's -4 through 9, so cool yourself, Brent. We got a long way to go.
How's Fowler doing?
Nobody knows.
I just asked you to check. That's it. That's all I said. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun and breezy today. A brief light sprinkle or shower with highs around 70, dropping into the upper 50s tonight. And breezy and cool tomorrow with rain increasing through the day. Your Friday high only reaches the low 60s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Hi there, I'm Mia. I'm Air.
You're Air?
Yeah, I just got out of the lungs of someone smoking a cheap little cigar outside a bodega. Oh, it was so smoky in there. And where there's smoke, there's
fire.
Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. Little cigars might taste sweet, but they still kill. I'm supposed to be helping people, not unhelping them.
You mean hurting?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm a bit of an airhead.
Little cigars are just as dangerous as regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Brandon Gaudin and Tony Baselli here from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football. AFC action coming up from Indianapolis when the Colts host the New York Jets. Tony, two interesting teams matched up to start Week 9.
Brandon, the Jets got their second win this past weekend with a big upset win over the Bengals. And Mike White, the backup quarterback, was dominant. 405 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. They go to see the Colts this weekend, who are reeling and frustrated after a tough overtime loss to the Tennessee Titans in a game that Carson Wentz threw 2 late critical interceptions.
All right, Tony, with 2 division losses to the Titans already this year, this truly is a must-win game for the Colts if they want to keep any postseason hopes alive. Join us for the Jets at the Colts on Thursday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at WestwoodOneSports.com. And remember to listen for the NFL right here all season long.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
I mean, usually it's right away. If you're in a situation where you can, it's addressing that right away so it doesn't come up again in that situation. Just got to get on the same page, and stuff like that can't happen between quarterback, receiver, tight ends, whoever it is. We just all have to be on the same page. You know, it's one thing, people are going to make plays, and you tip your hat to that, but as far as just not thinking and being on the same page, we can't have that. So just correcting that right when you see it, and we all got stuff to work on. Like, you know, I got to work on my accuracy. I wasn't very accurate last week, and so that's something going forward I got to get better at and give my guys more chances to get their hands on the ball and run after the catch. So we're working.
That is Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars quarterback. It's a big test for him. Obviously, I think it's the biggest test of the year for Trevor Lawrence. On paper, it would be against the Buffalo Bills. So it'd be nice to kind of see him perform well and bounce back. He looked. The only word I keep running into is out of sync. He just looked out of sync. I think Urban Meyer asked him the question the other day, and I think he answered it right, and it makes sense. Like, listen, if everybody else is not performing and grading out very well around you, there's a good chance at the quarterback position you're probably not going to grade out very well.
No, for sure.
And so and it did look like that. So this wasn't like this, oh, my gosh, Lawrence was so bad. I just thought with everything else going bad, he was too. I've seen this team have some bad plays, and I still am able to say, wow, Lawrence, though, I still saw some things. He's overcoming some of that. It was just an off day for everybody against the Seattle Seahawks, including the young quarterback. This could do a lot. Listen, this could be a big game, Austin. I mean, let's be real about this. If he struggles against top defense in the NFL, we assume the team is going to struggle against a very good team. And now you have 2 straight weeks of not great play on the offense or by the rookie quarterback. Now you start wondering, okay, is he kind of in a little bit of a funk?
Yeah.
Or does he play well? And then you're like, hey, man, that's impressive, right? I mean, he bounces back, and, yeah, they win, they lose the game, but hopefully they win. But he plays really well against the number 1 defense in the league and kind of shows his stuff a little bit. So it's going to be a big game for Trevor Lawrence just from at least the next few weeks from a narrative standpoint.
No, it's going to be a huge game, and it's going to be a huge test, obviously, playing this defense in the Buffalo Bills. It's interesting because when you break down the Buffalo defense, a 3-4 but, like, to me, what sets Buffalo apart from a lot of teams that run the scheme that they do is that they don't need to blitz because they have 4 capable, rushers that can get to the quarterback without blitzing. And we've seen early on, and I'm reminded of, like, I think Cincinnati stands out a little bit. Houston stood out a little bit. When you blitz Trevor Lawrence, he had problems in the beginning. Then he comes out in the Miami game, and he took care of the blitz pretty well. So now Trevor Lawrence is going to face a team that isn't going to be blitzing, but they're still going to get home, rushing the quarterback, obviously. So I'm very curious to see how Trevor Lawrence handles, not having to really call out, well, who's dropping back into coverage, who's blitzing. Like, he's going to know all of that stuff. It's going to be recognizing what kind of coverage they're in and trying to find the open man now. And obviously the offensive line has to do their job and block up front as well. But I'm very interested to see, not a very blitz-heavy team, the Buffalo Bills, how Trevor Lawrence plays against these guys.
Yeah, that's. I guess if you are who you are, a good sound defense. They can make plays. They're pretty steady on all 3 levels. They can get a push up front, but they don't need to blitz to create it. I still think that kind of favors, like when you kind of know what a team's going to do. I think that favors a young quarterback. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, he still has to make the right decisions, right? So. Pending that he can make those right decisions, and yeah, it definitely favors him because hopefully he'll have a little more time, if they aren't blitzing, but that falls offensive line as well. So to Trevor Lawrence, it comes down to making the proper read and recognizing the coverage right away.
Yeah, and again, it's worth noting, I don't think last week was just guys that weren't making plays. I think it was a little bit of everything. I think Trevor looked out of sync. I think he had trouble at times getting them lined up. I think he saw some new things on defense. I don't know for sure, but I think he probably did. I think then you add in poor offensive line play, drops on 3rd and 2, drops on 3rd and 16, just some of that. No running back, which is pretty significant. And I hate to give this team too many excuses. I mean, you could make them for days. I do think it's tough when you have a guy like James Robinson, who you really come out of the bye week and most likely want to get the ball to even more. And so he's heavily involved in this game plan is my guess. And then he carries it 4 or 5 times, and then he's out of the game. That really is tough on the fly to replace. And everything you thought you were going to do, now it's really thrown out of whack. And then on top of that, they get up 14-0 or whatever it might be. So, like, you can see where it snowballs. A little bit for the Jags because they need to rely on Robinson. They need to build around Robinson, and he is such a big part of the offense. But I just think the guys have to make better plays. I mean, they just can't drop 3rd and 2. You can't drop it when it's in your hands. I really credit Marvin Jones. If you go back to the Miami game, there were plays that were tough plays, and he went up and got them, Austin. Like, he made those plays. Mm-hmm. Now, I think LaVisca dropped a couple, and they weren't, like, right in his hands, but they were plays that he should have caught. But Marvin Jones, in my opinion, that day, I remember raving about him coming out of that game, in part because he had some, like, 50-50 type balls that he caught. Mm-hmm. And he hung on to, and he made good throws look really good because it was completed. Well, they need more of that. And LaVista's going to start doing that. Dan Arnold has to do it. Marvin has to do it. You name it. They have to do it. They've got to help the kid out and just look better all around as an offense.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of mirrors Justin Herbert, what he had to go through when he had a guy in Austin Eckler who, is a pretty respectable running back and was kind of the heart and soul of that Chargers team last year. He goes out. I think it was week 10, but I mean, he was hurt, throughout the season as well. He'd come in and out sparingly. So once they lost Eckler, then it was more on Justin Herbert to try to rally the team and elevate the team. Now, it helps when you had guys that, like Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry and everything, but that went to show you just the power of the quarterback position and being a young guy, you can still elevate your team. Assuming James Robinson's going to be out Sunday, that's going to be on Trevor Lawrence then. Yes, Carlos Hyde can handle the workload as well, but he is no James Robinson. So they're going to have to rely on Trevor's arm. It's as simple as that, and Trevor's going to have to elevate his team, and the best thing that his team can do around him, his players can do around him, is obviously catch those balls and try to create some separation.
Yeah, James Robinson, Carlos Hyde can do a bit. Carlos Hyde can have a game. Right? I mean, Carlos Hyde's not James Robinson, but he's also not like going to some rookie guy that you've never, you don't know what he can do. I mean, Carlos Hyde runs hard. Carlos Hyde has had good moments in the NFL. He's had good seasons in the NFL. I think the Jags can still run the football. Again, this is like if you could run it at a 90 grade with Robinson, you might only run it at an 80 grade with Hyde. And if you do that, well, then Trevor's got to make up for that. I think that's kind of what you're saying. Trevor's going to have to make up for something. That's why you picked him number 1 overall. That's why he's this elite talent that everybody thinks. He is going to have to overcome. And by the way, I think he's already overcome some things. I think he overcomes 2nd and 15 and 1st and 15 and sometimes 3rd and 15. He has done some of that, like hidden in games where, like, oh, okay, that's what other teams do sometimes too. Well, the Jags now have a guy, I think, that has been able to do that. Some plays with his legs as well that he's been able to make people miss or get away from sacks. Still 1 sack, I think, last week, even though it felt a lot worse than that. So I think that's what you're talking about, Austin. He's going to have to elevate his game a little bit. And by the way, even if James Robinson was playing, he's probably got to elevate his game because he's going against the top defense in the NFL.
Yeah, if I'm talking about, Carlos, like when James Robinson came in and they started giving him the ball more, he elevated the team. Everything looked different because of James Robinson. If he's not playing this Sunday and Carlos Hyde is the starting running back, I'm not sure Carlos Hyde has the power to elevate this team.
Yeah, true.
So if he doesn't have the power, well, then that's got to fall on somebody else. And obviously that's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Now, if you look at the Buffalo Bills, they're like, yes, probably the top defense in the league. But in terms of yards per carry, they're right in line with the Jaguars right now, in the bottom, 4th of the league. I mean, they're averaging 4.6 yards a carry. So if James Robinson isn't playing, well, yeah, you're going to see a heavy dose of Carlos Hyde. My only worry is, can Carlos Hyde sustain, the 4.6 average or even higher, and kind of make this a dual threat game with running the ball and passing the ball? I'm not sure if Carlos Hyde is there in his career right now.
Just revisit his that stat you just said. 4.6 was in the bottom 4th of the league on the offensive side?
No, so the Bills defense gives up 4.6 yards per carry. And the Jaguars go up 4.7.
So the Jags are giving up 4.7 yards per carry?
That is correct.
Really? I thought they were like one of the few teams through 6 games or something that were under 4 under 4 a carry.
517 attempts, 2,452 yards. I mean, you have to take the quarterback into play. I don't know. I'm just going by what the NFL.com tells me.
I was going to say, I guess maybe the stats didn't even matter in that Seattle game. And so now I'm kind of curious.
Oh, hold on. Hang on. Yep, let me fix this up here a little bit. Nope. Yep.
Is that right?
Nope, that's not right. Hold on. Let me fix it. Okay, so, sorry. The Bills give up 4 yards per carry, and the Jaguars right now are at 3.7. My bad. My bad.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, because it's really the one stat the Jags have been very good in.
Yes, there we go. 3.7.
Okay, so what you're really saying then, so the Bills are amongst the best in the league, probably top 10 in the league then at giving up 4.0.
Yeah, they're tied. For about 10, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
And again, that 3.7 is pretty significant. The Jags, they have had a couple scrambles break loose by quarterbacks. They had a big run late by Derrick Henry. But if you really crunch the numbers of what they've done against the run, it's been pretty good. Now, my guess is it's been a pretty small sample compared to the rest of the league because everybody's passing against them. How many rush attempts against the Jags this year? You said 517?
Hang on, rush attempts. No, that was okay. So rush attempts, I can't find that one right now. In terms of rush attempts, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. But my guess, you know what I'm saying? Like I bet there are more rush attempts against the Bills than there are the Jags.
Here we go. Okay, so the Jaguars have 204 rush attempts against them. The Bills have 152 against them.
Really? That's it?
Correct.
Wow, that surprises me. Now, I guess what you could say is in the second half, people are running against the Jags because they're up by 2 touchdowns.
You could say that for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel like everybody's just throwing the football against the Jags? I mean, Geno Smith and Tua and Tyrod and Teddy.
No, you're not wrong.
As you look at the Jags, actually, I was thinking this the other day. I never took a look at it. I'm going to do it right now, and you guys can all do it with me. So they played Tyrod Taylor, who, by the way, is scheduled to come back this week, Denver, and Teddy Bridgewater. They obviously faced Kyler Murray. He's one of the best in the league, and he really didn't do anything that was unbelievable that day. Burrow was really doing well in his sophomore year, if you will. Mm-hmm. Tannehill's not going to wow you, but he's a good enough quarterback. He's not in the Tua and Teddy and Tyrod situation. Tua obviously did well against the Jags. Geno Smith, ridiculous. So now you get Josh Allen, and you've got MVP candidate. Carson Wentz is kind of middle of the road. Garoppolo's middle of the road. I don't think anybody's afraid to face Matt Ryan, who the Jags will face. Stafford will be an elite guy they have to face. The Titans go back to Tannehill. Texans, who cares? Jets, no, it's a rookie. Patriots, it's a rookie. And the Colts is Wentz, and we'll see how he's playing. I mean, Wentz could get himself in that conversation. But really, if you look at it, the Jags are really bad on defense, and they only have to face 4 quarterbacks that you would put in that upper tier of the NFL. And that's Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen this week, and I even put Joe Burrow there, and he really did play well in the second half. So, I mean, that is not a bad schedule against quarterbacks, Austin. The problem is they've already faced Tyrod, Tua, and Geno Smith and Teddy, and they didn't fare too well against them.
No, and that's kind of the major point where it doesn't really matter who you're facing right now. Like you're obviously giving up way too many points and you're surrendering way too many stats to quarterbacks right now. So yeah, I don't think it matters if it's Joe Burrow, if it's Josh Allen, or if it's Mike White. Like, you know, it's not good right now for this defense.
No, remember a couple years back, like this was, I don't know, maybe it's like 15, 16. They would go like they'd play Hasselbeck, who had just been like signed back. He's like 40 years old. They'd lose. You know, they'd face so-and-so back up. They'd lose. Fitzpatrick was probably in there for 3 different teams. They'd lose. Mm-hmm. It'd be like, when you're bad on D, it doesn't, like you just said, it doesn't matter who you're facing. What scares the hell out of you is when you got to face guys that are in the MVP conversation, like Josh Allen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now you're like, oh, my gosh. But I will say, I mean, the Jags did a decent job against one of those kind of guys, and that's Kyler Murray. Earlier this year, can they do the same here at home against the Bills? We'll find out. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Jags All Access coming up tonight on Fox 30 with Shaq Griffin. Come on out, say hello. Coming up at 4 o'clock, by the way, Mac Jones' mom joins us. And we'll tell you what that's all about coming up a little bit later, but we'll be back on ESPN 690.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
Did anyone watch football last year and think, you know what, I think there's just too much taunting going on? These guys seem to be too excited when they make big plays, and every now and again, it seems to be in the face of their opponent. This does not have any impact on the competition of the game until you choose to make it so. And what I'm suggesting is don't choose that. Don't choose that.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio, and watch exclusively on ESPN+.
We all know the soothing scent of Vicks Vapo Rub, the comforting scent families everywhere have come to trust. Whether you had a pesky cough and couldn't go to sleep, or you just needed a loving touch of care to help you feel better, Vicks Vapo Rub has always been there. It always made you feel better, and today, it still does. Reach for Vicks Vapo Rub and wrap yourself with the calm and soothing relief only Vicks Vapo Rub can bring. Vicks Vapo Rub, trusted soothing vapors, always there for you.
What's your ultimate game day experience? A tricked-out man cave? Deluxe tailgate? Then enter the 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes for a chance to win $10,000. And make your ultimate game day experience a reality. To enter, buy any 5-Hour Energy product and upload the receipt. It's that easy. The 5-Hour Energy Football Sweepstakes. Enter today.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 and a legal resident of the U.S. Ends December 10th, 2021. For official rules and how to enter without purchase, visit 5hesport.com. Void where prohibited.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts: jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper, so many flavors to choose from. And of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Just be in control. With free interest checking and great digital tools, Community First makes smarter banking simple. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest and non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-618-3497. That's 904-618-3497.
Lowe's Provember event is back. In celebration of pros, we're offering special values on top tools to get any job done right. Head into Lowe's and check out the largest selection of DeWalt power tools and accessories. Right now, you can get a guaranteed tough DeWalt 20-volt max bear tool free when you buy a DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kit. Shop in-store or order online. Lowe's, the new home for pros. Valid through 1/5 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. U.S. only.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Thursday Night Football as Mike White and the New York Jets travel to Indy to take on the Colts. Coverage starts at 8 right here on ESPN 690.
Not really. I think he's a young quarterback that at times he looks like a 10-year vet, and other times he doesn't. And I've always said this about a quarterback is when he has a great day, I got a feeling when I give you the grades of everyone else, they played really good. When a quarterback struggle, if I give you the grades, the guys around him, he's a product of those around him. And we didn't play very good on offense, certainly. You take about the steady improvement, and all of a sudden you did this. You got to get it back.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. There's a quote right there from Urban Meyer this week about the quarterback play and Trevor Lawrence. I think that's cool, right? I mean, sometimes he looks like a 10-year vet, sometimes he looks like a rookie. I think that's bound to happen. You find consistency somewhere in there. He had a nice 3-week stretch. Can he get back to that rather than have a couple bad games? That's why I think there's some significance in this game against Buffalo and how he looks and how he plays. Brent Martineau live at String Sports Brewery, Austin Lane. Casey Kurtz here on a Thursday. We'll pick the Thursday night game in just a little bit. Let's get Steven on the line. He's been hanging around. I think wants to talk Bills defense. What's happening?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good.
I got a question for you, Austin.
I got to answer.
Okay. I have concerns. Mind you, the O-line was played bad last week, and they've been decent during the season. My concern is with one of the top guys and somebody you liked in the draft, Greg Rousseau.
Yeah.
He's been just a monster lately. And my concern is with Jawan Taylor, because normally he lines up on the right side. And, also you got Carlos Basham, another top pass rusher in the draft. My concerns are just what do you think they should do with that monster?
Are you talking about with Gregory Rousseau? Okay. All right, yeah, thank you, Stephen. Okay, so, yeah, when we talk about the Buffalo Bills, like I was saying, you're not going to see a lot of blitzing. So if I'm the defensive coordinator of the Bills, I go, where are the Jaguars most vulnerable? And right now I would say it is from Jawan Taylor's side. Now, to be fair, if you watch that Seahawks game, it was from all over the place. But if I give, and whether I'm not sure if Jerry Hughes is playing yet or not. If Hughes is playing or if Rousseau is playing, whoever the game caller is, whoever the leader of this defensive line is, I give them free reign. I give them the J.J. Watt treatment and say, when it's 3rd and long, you go wherever you want, and then we're going to fit off you. And that's what I would do. So I'm not sure who's quite playing yet, what this defensive line is going to look like. They had some guys on the injury report. I don't know who's going to be out, who's going to be in, but they do have depth as well. So if I'm the Jaguars of how do I stop that, Dan Arnold's a guy that's kind of come in and filled the role now as a tight end. You got to chip with Dan Arnold almost every single play if it's going to be longer than 3rd and 5. Because when it's a pass rush situation, it's going to be a passing situation, and the Bills can kind of pin their ears back a little bit. Yeah, I'm not confident right now with just Jawan Taylor by himself one-on-one against a guy like Rousseau. So I'm going to use Dan Arnold. I'm going to use a slot receiver, whatever the case may be, and I'm chipping until the cows come home.
All right, thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it. Let's welcome at Action Sports Shack Stuart Weber right now, and back from Seattle, London, everywhere in between, and off to some high school football tonight. Weber, we have some Thursday night high school football because of the weather that may be heading into town tomorrow.
Hopefully, we also have Friday night high school football. Of course, some teams are getting a little jump on it just because they feel like the rain's going to be bad, and, well, I certainly hope it's not. But, yeah, a few games on the schedule tonight. And a few on the Friday night schedule that we're really keeping an eye on. This is the final week of the regular season, so teams are fighting it out for those last RPI spots, those last kind of at-large bids. And we've got some teams on both sides of the bubble that will be very interested in their games on Friday night. But you mentioned tonight we got Fletcher and Mandarin. Fletcher's already in, so this is just kind of a last tune-up before the postseason starts for them. First Coast and Sandalwood as well, and Westside and Nice. Nice, one of those teams that's on the right side of the bubble right now and hoping to get another victory as they take on the Wolverines.
All right, week 11 of the regular season, which means this is it. Then we go to the postseason. But the RPI stuff, Weber, has been pretty fun because it makes these games still have a lot of value.
Yeah, in the past, you had times when it was just a winner and a district runner-up. Well, some districts are obviously a little stronger than other districts. And so this really opens it up to, all right, we're going to get 4 district champs for the higher classifications. Those games will definitely matter. And then we're going to take the next best 4 in those districts. So it doesn't matter if you're in a really strong district or in a weaker one. It depends on who you played, both in your district games and out of district. So it really encourages teams to schedule tough and to play some really good teams over the course of the season. And we see that with some of our schools that are, right on the cusp of hopefully making it in. The funny part is for our area, we've got a couple teams in our viewing area that are done. So their season is over. However, they have to wait and watch all these games on Friday night to kind of see what happens. Perfect example of that is Terry Parker. The Braves are in the 8th and final spot in their region in 5A. And they just have to kind of sit there and see what happens and hope everything still works out okay when it comes to the selection show on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and the numbers. So that's coming up on Sunday afternoon. So big week of the Blitz Scoreboard show tomorrow night, 9 o'clock until 10:30 on ESPN 6. the social media platforms. If you haven't caught it yet, we really encourage you to try it out. It's fun. We'll show you late games. We'll be at Fleming Island and Oakleaf. That's usually a good one. We'll have some live action from that game in Clay County. We'll have Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Baker Sports. We appreciate the University of North Florida Ospreys for their support of the Blitz Scoreboard Show. And then, of course, we have the Friday Night Blitz coming up on the TV side. Half-hour edition is back now that the World Series is in the books. 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:20 on CBS 47, Fox 30. Hey, Weber, if Austin Lane coached high school, one, would he be any good? And two, would he let us into the locker room for his pregame speech?
I think he would be good. I believe he has the skills, and he certainly developed the skills from his work at the MMA gym as far as teaching, because you do a lot of teaching there with the younger ones. So
with the youth.
I feel like that patience that you've gained from doing that would certainly help with the high school kids. And I guess you would just yell at them, be 6'6".
Yeah.
But I guess that wouldn't really work as well for the high school kids. And yes, I believe we'd be allowed in the locker room.
Ooh,
no, I don't think we'd be able to use it.
1 for 2.
All of it would be entirely redacted.
You went 1 for 2.
We'd be allowed
what
in,
kind
but
of
we
offense
wouldn't use any of it because it would just be cursing all the time.
That's a good point.
So we have some of those, by the way, coaches who let us in, and then afterwards I'm just like, sorry, coach, I can't use any of it, but I do appreciate you letting us in. Thank you. Thank you for the...
What kind of offense you running, Austin?
Crossbuck. Crossbuck all day, baby. It's
fired halfway through the year.
We'll see when we're winning championships. Come back and talk to me. When we have Derrick Henry lights all over the field, then come back and talk to me.
All right, thanks for stopping up, Weber. High school football tonight. We'll have it on CBS 47 and Fox 30, and again a big night tomorrow on ESPN 690 and Fox 30 and CBS 47 with the Blitz. We'll be back from Spring Sports Brewery. Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence teaming up together. We'll tell you what it's all about coming up on ESPN 690.
Quitting tobacco isn't easy. The good news is, Tobacco-Free Florida is here to help you quit your way by offering the free support and tools you'll need to succeed. Our AHEC cessation program offers Group Quit, virtual classes you can take from the comfort of your own home across every county in Florida. All you need is a phone, tablet, or computer. You may also be eligible to receive up to $400 worth of free quit aids, such as nicotine patches, lozenges, or gum. You aren't alone, and our group quit sessions can offer the support you've needed all along. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried to quit. Now is your time to succeed, because now is the time to quit your way. So give us a call at 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW to double your chances of success. Ask about free nicotine replacement options to help you quit today. This is your start to a tobacco-free life. No judgments, just help.
If you have an unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-664-0353. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-664-0353. 800-664-0353. 800-664-0353. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Kinetico makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jax weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is accused by team employees of overseeing a toxic and sometimes hostile workplace. Allegedly, Sarver has used racially insensitive and lewd language and also displayed inappropriate and misogynistic conduct. The vice chairman of the Suns, Jam Najafi, has released a statement saying that the alleged conduct is unacceptable and that he supports full accountability. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor will start for the Texans Sunday against the Dolphins. He's been out since a left hamstring injury in Week 2. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
I don't know how this works out between Tua and the Dolphins, but it's very clear to me how the Dolphins feel about Tua Tagovailoa.
Jeff Darlington on KJ and Max. The Giants believe there are irregularities with the rapid COVID-19 tests. The team has had multiple false positives this week. And ESPN's Dave McMenamin reports LeBron James of the Lakers could miss at least a week with an abdominal strain. He's out tonight against the Thunder.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think we've been on the other end of it in being close but not finishing. Like, we've played well early and then maybe didn't play as good later on, and today was a little bit of the reverse. So we just got to, like you said, just play the last drive and put our team in a position to win and let the coaches make all the decisions. And they did a great job of that. And, when you get a chance to have the ball, you got to put points up, and we can do a better job of not even being in that situation by playing better, especially me, just in certain parts of the game.
Well, that is Mac Jones, of course. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jax studios. And how good has Mac been so far, Austin? 4-4 in a nice situation there, it looks like, in New England. Looks like getting more and more comfortable. Say all the nice things you can about Mac Jones. His mom's on the line.
Oh, no, for sure. So I'm definitely going to watch what I say. But listen, I don't need to censor myself at all because I've been very adamant about how comfortable he has looked. And you saw that in the preseason. It's carried over to the regular season. In terms of just comfort with the offense, leadership, running a no-huddle offense, 2 minutes, like, Mac Jones is by far the best quarterback this year. Now, Trevor Lawrence starting to gain on him a little bit in terms of comfortability, but Mac Jones is by far the most comfortable guy right there, and it looks like he's going to have that position for a long time to come.
Yeah, really nice story. I love him in New England right now, and Jacksonville product out of the Bowl School as well. And Holly Jones, Mac's mom, joins us right now, really to talk about something that Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones have done together to help out a really good cause and raise awareness and dollars for Alzheimer's. And we'll have that story in just a moment. But hello, Holly. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying this rookie year so far for Mac.
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me.
No problem. What's it like watching him play for the New England Patriots for these first 8 games?
Oh, it's been great. Very exciting, lots of traveling, and just really fun going to see all the games.
Are you going to all of them? Have you been everywhere?
Been to every single one. Haven't missed a single game, and haven't missed one when he was at Alabama, and basically haven't missed one since he started when he's 5 years old.
Which is awesome. Hey, and when he's 5 years old, you dream of playing in the NFL and playing for the New England Patriots or any team. He is doing just that. I've asked you this before. We did this around draft time when we visited with you guys over at your home. But this is be such a fun ride from Alabama in that year to the draft and to now what's going on in New England. You guys have to be having a blast.
It is really fun, and I tell people it's the same feeling as when he was 5 years old and he ran out on the field the first time. It's always kind of that same feeling. Very exciting, roller coaster ride, very, very fun.
Holly, so I have to ask, because being a mom of an NFL player, and my mom can attest to this, she was always super nervous for me. Didn't necessarily understand the game of football clearly, but was always nervous when I'm on the field. Didn't want me to get hurt. All that great stuff. As a mom, do you find yourself are you more in the X's and O's things, or are you just kind of more hoping that he does well?
A little bit of both. I
Okay.
actually have to admit I had to buy that book, one of those dummy books, dummies, football for dummies.
Sure,
book.
sure.
But he tries to, help me out. When he was in Pop Warner, he used to try to teach me when we go to a restaurant after, he used the salt shakers and the little straws and tried to teach me the different way to set things up and tried to teach me the plays. And he's kind of helped me over the years. When I say things that aren't right, he tries to explain it to me. And I've gotten better. As I say, I know just enough to be dangerous. But,
well, props to him then, because I didn't do anything for my mom. I'm just yeah, you'll figure it out eventually.
I'm a work in progress.
I love it.
Holly Jones with us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. It's cool to have you along because really I had this idea this year. Maybe we'll start it next year. I was going to do Monday with Moms. And you were on our list. You were on our list, by the way, just talking sports with moms on Monday, especially coming off whether it's a Jags or an NFL or a Pop Warner Saturday and Sunday. But you're really joining us today on a Thursday for a more important reason. Trevor Lawrence and your son, Mac Jones, have teamed up to autograph a football. And the story is, one sad, but also one amazing in terms of how a small world it is. And it's pretty involved story. So let me just read this little bit, and then we'll ask Holly about it. Stan Stipe passed from younger onset Alzheimer's in 2020. And this weekend, actually, on Saturday, there's a walk to end Alzheimer's at UNF. Well, Stan's childhood friend, Mike Fields, had been college classmates with Holly Jones, who's joining us now, mother of Mac, and lives in Cartersville, where Trevor Lawrence grew up. I mean, what a small world, Holly.
Yes, it is an amazing story. And I'd like to say that it's a sad story, but it's also a happy story. And because the story behind the ball that's going to be auctioned is really a story that represents unity, hope, friendship, and teamwork. And the reason why I say that is because the reason why it is a story of teamwork is because it's a teamwork between, several people. Mike led the way, a friend of not only mine from Mercer, but a childhood friend of Stan, who actually, believe it or not, had coached Mac in baseball when Mac was growing up.
Wow.
So Mike Fields actually, and he and I had gone to Mercer together, and then we ran back into each other at Alabama because his daughter was dating a teammate of Mac's, and he's actually the one that told me that Stan had been diagnosed with early onset of Alzheimer's. So then later when Stan actually passed away and he had come up with this idea, he contacted me about getting Mac and Trevor to sign the ball. And then he, of course, was in the same town as Trevor, And so it was, when I say that it's teamwork, it was actually a lot of work to put together getting the ball signed, because it was actually around the time of the draft. So he shipped the ball to me to get Mac to sign it, and then Trevor signed it, and then we actually got it to Stan's wife, and she got it to Alzheimer's Association. So that's kind of the teamwork part of it. The friendship part of it is kind of cool because all of us have been friends. I've been friends with Mike for years. He's been friends with Stan since the 5th grade. And, of course, Jenny and I became friends when Stan was coaching Mac, and Mac absolutely adored Coach Stipe. And if you read the story that was in the Times-Union about Mike and Stan's friendship, Mike actually does a very interesting quote about Stan and said that nobody ever thought that Stan was going to be a football player, because Stan played football at in Statesboro. And it's interesting, they said he was small and nobody ever thought he'd play in college, and Stan ended up playing college. Well, who does that sound like? Y'all know who that. Everybody said Matt, and nobody thought that Mac would play in college. So Stan always was very kind to Mac because Mac wasn't very good at baseball. So I think it's really cool that he encouraged Mac at an early age in baseball when Mac wasn't really good. So I know where that was coming from because I never knew that about Stan. So he was very kind to Mac. So it is a story of friendship, and then of course hope. Because any money that comes from this ball is going to go to the research behind the Alzheimer's Association, and of course we all want that for everybody, because both my father passed away, Mac's grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's, as well as the Lawrence family has been affected. We all spoke the other day on television, Amanda Lawrence, myself, and Jenny Stipe, and that we all recognize that all three of our families have been touched with Alzheimer's. So that's also under we're unified in speaking out and asking people to please bid on the ball, because all of the funds, 100% of the funds will go to the Alzheimer's Association and help others in researching and fighting this disease.
Yeah, Holly Jones is with us, Mac Jones' mom. That's an incredible story, incredible small world story, tie-in, relationships, friendships, you're right, and really the big picture, raise money to find a cure for Alzheimer's. And there's a UNF walk this weekend on Saturday, and you can join the walk. You go to alz.org/walk. So alz.org/walk. As for the ball that Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones signed, it's 32auctions.com. Now, on social media, I'll share some of the links so you can do that as well, but and find it a little easier. But 32auctions.com. And think about it this way. I mean, Austin, I've said this a lot. I love this quarterback class coming out. I think this is going to be a really good class, and obviously Mac and Trevor may be leading the way. But you get a ball with a couple of those guys signing it 20 years down the road. This would be a ball to have on your mantle for a long time to come.
Well, especially both of them signing it. I mean, I think that very rarely happens in the NFL. Obviously, the guys playing on two separate teams. So, obviously, it's going towards a great cause. Any sports fan, I think, would love to have this ball. So, yeah, absolutely. Check that website out. Brent, like you said, we'll tweet it out as well, get it out there. But a very cool, one-of-a-kind gift.
Holly, just let me keep you for a minute or two and ask you this. This is a neat quarterback class. Do Trevor and Mac have a relationship, maybe because of this a little bit, because they're drafted together? Maybe does the quarterbacks in this class? I mean, I don't know how that works. What's that like for Mac?
Well, actually, Mac and Trevor met a while ago. They did a quarterback challenge up in, I want to say, D.C. in 2016. And competed against each other. I was there, so I know they met then. They might have met before then, and so they knew who each other was back at that point. And so, actually, that they kind of get to know each other, kind of the guys that are competing pre-senior year, because they're kind of on a circuit. I know Trevor and Mac competed a lot towards the end. And they were relatively friendly at that point. And so and then of course as they go on and they start playing against each other, people think people are really competitive. They're not. They're friendly. And so I was talking to Amanda yesterday, and we're friendly. So like when you're talking about getting the moms on, it's great. People think people are all competitive. They're not. We're very friendly. So yes, Mac and Trevor are friends.
The moms should be super proud because two super young men. I mean, we don't know them extremely well, but everything we know about Trevor, we obviously know Mac a little bit, and handled themselves so well. I was actually speaking to somebody yesterday, or a group, a basketball team, and I said, if watch these guys at what they do at news conferences if you want to learn how to deal with the media. And they're so good, so seasoned at such a young age. All right, fun one to end it. I don't know if you sit in the stands in New England. By the way, it's about to get cold if you go there at Gillette Stadium. I know you're not used to that. Do people know who you are? Like when you're in Tuscaloosa, did they know who you were? Did they know not to say anything bad if a bad play happened? Or did they leave you alone? I would assume by the time you got out of Tuscaloosa, everybody kind of knew who you guys were. But you might still have a little bit of that, hey, who are these folks in New England?
At New England home games, everybody is 100% nice. Now, when you go to away games, not so much.
Yeah, tough to stay incognito, but I guess you got to put your earbuds in, or just let it go in one ear and out the other.
I'm pretty tough.
Holly Jones,
been doing
thanks
this a long time.
Yeah, I know you have. Holly Jones, thanks for joining us. This is a really cool thing. We'll continue to promote it. Hope to raise a lot of money for Alzheimer's. Give Mac our best. He's having a fantastic start to his NFL career.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. That is Holly Jones, of course, Jones family from right here in Jacksonville, and a local product. I mean, we touched talking about it last night on TV. I mean, from Derrick Henry to Mac Jones to from everybody that's in the collegiate level. Mm-hmm. This area is so good in football, and Mac Jones is a really, really cool story. I mean, how about all the ends of that story, from Jacksonville to Cartersville to Mercer to, I mean, what a wild twist that all those worlds connected, Austin.
It's always a small world, man. Never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, so anyway, more on that on the ball. It's 32auctions.com. Again, I'll share the exact link. It'll get you right there. And by the way, it's not a pricey bid as of now. So let's get bidding. You have until Saturday to bid on it. And then alz.org/walk. It is how did your mom hear a lot of stuff in the stands, or because you weren't really the quarterback, does she get a little bit of a break from that?
Yeah, I mean, she was always rocking that 92 jersey proud, so I'm sure she heard some. If she did get a lot, she never told me about it. But I do remember one time back in high school, we were playing in a playoff game, and the team that we're playing against, like, they had some ruthless fans, and they actually would like hang signs on our field like before the game. And I remember distinctly my mom hanging one of her signs that she made over one of their signs, which kind of led to a little bit of a tussle a little bit. And I remember warming up for the game thinking, hey, Mom, can you just go back to your side of the stands, please? I'm trying to play a football game here. I can't worry about you right now. But no, and much like Mac Jones' mom, my mom never missed a game either. And there's something to be said for that. And that's definitely got to be celebrated, because those types of parents, I think, sometimes can be few and far between, just because people got to work and everything. But my mom always made time. She never missed a game. And for that, I'm always thankful.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think it would be really hard to be a pro athlete, especially, but a big-time college athlete, whatever it is, parent, and sitting out in the stands and hearing all that. Because it's not always going to go well. You know?
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
I mean, you're sitting out there and there's drunk people. And, I mean, you can't really just stop them from being in your section. I mean, even if, like, I know with the Jags, we've heard stories before, like whether it was Scobie or Minshew, and I've talked to Minshew's dad about this in the past too, where you're just out there and you kind of just got to hear it. There's no way to avoid it. Mm-hmm. If somebody's going to be a jerk, they're going to be a jerk probably. Or there's a lot of times where they don't know. Like, I just always picture it like, your kid throws 3 interceptions, and that guy paid a couple $100 for the tickets.
Yeah.
And he's had a couple beers by now.
Yeah.
And he's sitting right behind, like, dad and mom, and he's just ripping the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
and he has no idea that the parents are right there. Like, I'm sure that happens a lot. I mean, it probably happens in high school, probably happens at other levels, but I always think that's such a wild dynamic. You think these guys make a lot of money eventually, or whatever the case. And so, hey, can't you just buy a suite and put every family member there? Well, not every player can get a suite.
No, for sure. Oh, no, Mom was in the crowd for me, man. But, hey, as long as I was having fun, which when you win 2 games in 1 year wasn't the most fun, but I still had fun as much as I could, that's the most important part.
Yeah, I think of it now actually a little bit because we're in 203. the kids and Steph, and that's where our tickets are. And so we'll go up there. But right above, I'd say, what are we, like row? I think we're like row X in 203. So it's not far. There's above, like if you keep walking up that section, you'll get to like a suite. And again, not like we can enter, but the window of a suite. And, well, that's where all the Jags inactive players sit.
Yeah.
And so I always think about it from them. Like those are all like they're not playing, right?
Yeah.
Like if James Robinson doesn't play in the game, he might sit there. He might go on the sideline. But sometimes, depending on the injury to guys, they might be right there. And what they listen to in the course of a Jags game must be like unbelievable yet purely entertaining while you're watching the game.
It's a rough one, man. Yeah. Especially being a player. It's one thing if you're a parent, like, okay. But, like, yeah, being a player, especially because you're already upset because you're not out there with your teammates. Yeah. Not the best.
Hey, listen, the Jags have played so bad at times in that stadium, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those players joined in. Hopefully that won't be the case on Sunday. Good to have Holly Jones on. Man, what a great story Mac is. Gosh, I love local stories, and Mac Jones is terrific. And right now, you can make the case head of the class here on this rookie season for all these young quarterbacks in 2021. We'll be back live at Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield. Come on out. Be here until 6 o'clock. Brent buys a beer a little bit later. But coming up next, it's our Florida State report. Oh, tough loss last week. What's ahead for the Noles? And also, they have a quarterback transfer out. The latest on that in the Florida State report. We come back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun and breezy today. A brief light sprinkle or shower with highs around 70, dropping into the upper 50s tonight. And breezy and cool tomorrow with rain increasing through the day. Your Friday high only reaches the low 60s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wings Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wings Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Look, boss, there's another Safe Touch house.
Just play it cool, drive on by.
Word on the street is these new Safe Touch security video cameras are really pinching the burglary business.
Yeah? How so?
Well, the cameras are integrated with the Safe Touch app, right? So the homeowner gets notified when someone even gets close to the house.
So that protects the entire property then?
Exactly. Driveway burglaries are a thing of the past now with these Safe Touch cameras.
Driveway break-ins. The low-hanging fruit of the burglary biz.
Yup. Boss, I heard someone even got busted for letting their dog poop in someone's yard.
Ha! Caught in the act with a Safe Touch security camera. Priceless.
Yeah, it keeps our job pretty simple. See a Safe Touch sign? Just drive on by.
Now, for a limited time, the Safe Touch Advantage plan includes free equipment and installation for new customers with an Advantage monitoring agreement. The Safe Touch doorbell camera, a $200 value, can be added for just $99. Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Just be positive. Your Community First Mortgage champions make sure you get a great rate, a quick close, and can save you about $3,000 in closing costs. Apply at communityfirstfl.org. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjacks.com and protect your house and your budget.
So you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Today's pros need today's tools, and nobody understands that better than the Home Depot. Our app makes it simpler to get supplies ordered and delivered. Our online project calculators cut guesswork and last-second supply runs. Job site delivery puts what you need where and when you need it. And rental puts the right equipment in your hands, but not your overhead. That's how today's pros get more done. New tech, new tools, old-fashioned hard work. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
From city streets to back roads. From road warrior to carpooler. There are some things you can always count on. Like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
The line on most places is FSU plus 9.5. How in the world, if you are getting 9.5 points and Clemson has only scored 20 points twice and you're getting half of that before, like today, the game's still a couple days away and you're getting half of what they're going to score? How do you not? If there's anybody listening, how do you not? You're a fool if you don't bet plus 9, plus 9.5. If I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll play it as a rejoiner. You'll hear this next Thursday. But come on.
Clemson 0-7 against the spread this year. I repeat, Clemson 0-7 against the spread this year.
Wow. Well, how did that work out? By the way, that was about as bad a beat as you could get. I mean, you were right on the money. See, that's one if I was a betting man. Like, I'd be like, that's just like the worst luck in the world. That wasn't the wrong bet. You know what I mean? Like, you made the right bet. You got extremely unlucky.
Yeah.
Like a 1 in 100 type of play, unlucky. Like, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to be like a golfer. You'd be like, hey, listen, I hit that shot great. I mean, that was the wind. That guy in the stands made a lot of noise. Like, my caddy picked the wrong club. The grass wasn't good. It was a bad spot. Lie. Like, that's what you got to do as, like, a betting person. And I would be like, listen, I made the right play. I mean, that was the right play, and I got screwed.
Okay, see, to take us back to Saturday, you're watching that game.
Sure.
You think you have it all wrapped up.
Feeling
Reputation, good. Pride on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And, Florida State trying to, make it a closer ball game, I guess. the turnover, the touchdown. What came out of your mouth? I mean, I don't want to say what came out of your mouth because I'm sure you swore.
Yeah.
But did you throw anything?
Yeah.
Did you say anything?
Yeah, all those
What'd you
things.
do?
I threw the remote. But here's the thing. I knew as soon as the first lateral happened, I was in trouble. Because that never, ever works. So when the first lateral happened, I was like, I'm in trouble. And then when he just turned around and chucked it to nobody on the goal line, I said, yeah, I'm really in trouble. Yeah. And then when dude kind of fumbled around and it looked like he might have been down, like at the 1, I jumped up, and then they showed the replay, and I was like, it doesn't matter. And I threw the remote. I walked out of the room. I kicked some shoes.
Nice.
And I didn't even stay for the final ruling, but I got in my car to come here. And I heard it on ESPN 690 that it was indeed 30-20, and that's 10.
Do you, at the end of the day, that day, do you think Florida State should have won that game? Or do you think Clemson, was in control of that game? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it was what, like a 24-20 game? Right? Really?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but Clemson missed 3 field goals. I think they fumbled deep in Florida State territory, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I wasn't watching a lot of it because we were at the Florida-Georgia game. But, I mean, that's a lot of missed opportunities. And the Noles, I felt like they were a bit lucky to stay in that game and be a part of that game. I felt like Clemson outplayed them and deserved to win anyway. That was my takeaway from – and again, I'll say this from a kind of following along with it, actually, than watching it.
Yeah, I think obviously those missed field goals and stuff play big, but if you're FSU, you have a chance. You take the lead after the scoop and score from Jermaine Johnson, and you're up a couple of points, and then you immediately go and get a horrible pass interference call. And by horrible, I mean the call itself was horrible. And then you go and get a horrible late hit call, which, I mean,
that was stupid.
You can't hit that guy. That was a horrible thing to do if you're on the field. So you couple those two things in, but if you don't do either of those, you're in a way better spot because it took them 55 seconds to score after those penalties. And then, I think they could have won the game, but
well, they could have, I don't know if they really were the better team either way, though. Didn't feel like that. I think there are a lot of Florida State fans thinking like, hey, we should have won, could have won. Yeah, you could have, but I don't really think you outplayed Florida State Clemson from my view.
That's true. It's hard to say, though, I think that, honestly, that Clemson outplayed Florida State, though, either with the missed kicks and all that. I think, in general, it was just who's going to lose it worse, and Florida State was the answer.
Austin, we didn't talk about this coming out of the Georgia game, but it's an interesting thing now with FSU. Welcome back, everybody. By the way, String Sports Brewery, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, here until 6, and then Jaguars All Access. Coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. We also have Westwood One coverage of tonight's Jets-Colts game on ESPN 690. Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz in the Action Sports Shack studios. The lack of discipline there from Florida State, especially with the late hit, very costly. I'm not sure Clemson would score a touchdown if they don't do that. Maybe they would have, but I don't feel like they would have. Their offense kind of sputtery all year anyway. I don't really think that's been a huge problem in the Norvell era so far in these couple years. Taggart, it was a major problem. They had discipline problems. Mm-hmm. And so it's a good thing that I don't think that's a major problem, but here we are in a big game. In that moment, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be doing that. That's too costly of a mistake, and I think you can make the case it cost them the football game. What I want to balance that with, everybody talks about Georgia's defense, and watching that in person the other day, as fast as they play, as violent as they play, as emotional as they play, and as good as they are, I think I walked away thinking the most impressive thing about this defense is they are disciplined. They don't do any of that stuff. They do not play after the whistle. I'm not saying they haven't, but in this rivalry game, an emotional game against Florida, they had none of that. They were playing, boom, hard, like 100 million miles an hour to the whistle. There weren't late hits. There weren't these dumb plays. Sometimes you get a defense that's really, really good, and they make dumb plays on top of it because they play with all that emotion, swagger, and the rest. Mm-hmm. That maybe was the most impressive part about watching Georgia up close on Saturday.
No, I mean, it's a good call. And, that's the reason why they can get intricate with their defenses and give you kind of various looks out of that 3-4 because they have the smarts to do so. Now, if you want to break down the Georgia defense like we did, this past week, last week, I talked about how they don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. They could just line up in the same way every single time and they would still have success. But then when you combine that talent with, different looks, different stunts, when you rush 3 guys sometimes or you blitz with a 4th guy, that can it's a 3-4 defense. It can confuse offensive linemen. But you have to do that when you have the right guys with the right IQ and the football smarts. And they definitely have that all around the field there at Georgia.
Yeah, that was one of my takeaways of that game, as good as they are. And that's kind of a Saban, Kirby Smart type of thing. And Norvell is an attention to detail guy at Florida State. So if they can play fast and play smart most of the time, now they didn't in that moment. And I think it really cost them a chance to win that football game because they didn't play smart. All right, Casey, let's get into it. The Florida State report here on a week where they now are 3-5 and snap a 3-game winning streak.
That is correct. We'll do 2 things before we talk about the game itself. We'll first start with Florida State great Buster Posey, who's going to announce his retirement today. That's on the baseball side, so give Buster Posey some love. Hall of Famer for sure. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that's a different conversation. And the second
I do, and he changed the rule at home plate. He should go in the Hall of Fame just for that.
Yeah,
that's a good call. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
Dude earned the stripes there.
Yeah, so that will happen later today. And something that already happened is Chubba Purdy will leave Florida State. That was announced. A potential reason for that because now with Chubba Purdy leaving, they only have 3 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, and you will obviously lose Mackenzie Milton next year, so that'll be 2. Right now, Mike Norvell holds a commitment from A.J. Duffy, who is down at IMG, and he's a 4-star. That would be a quality get for Mike Norvell, so maybe that's what changed Chubba Purdy's mind about staying at Florida State. I have 3 quick options for you. Feel free to weigh in if you so choose. That he may choose. I think he's going to be very good, by the way. The first option is Arizona State. Their family, and he is from Arizona, so Arizona State seems like an obvious option. They are a quality program. They're going to be losing their quarterback to the draft, so Arizona State is one. If you want to stay in the state of Florida, I would say UCF would be an option. They have not had good quarterback play this year. Dylan Gabriel, it is what it is there. I believe he's hurt right now still, so a lot going on at UCF. And the third option would be he could take over for his brother at Iowa State, as he will be going to the NFL draft as well. So those are just 3 outside options for Chubba Purdy as he officially says goodbye to Florida State. Obviously, we talked about the game for a bit, but I want to get this in there. Jordan Travis did not throw any interceptions in this game. He did throw 2 touchdowns. However, he did not get a positive rushing yard, and as a whole, FSU only averaged 1.9 a carry. So it's pretty incredible that they were even in the game when they were only running at 1.9 a clip. On the flip side, Will Shipley, 28 for 128 and 2, who is the Clemson running back, 5.1 per. By the way, freshman in action because Lynn J. Dixon started the season as their starting running back. He just didn't show up to the Georgia game, and physically he just wasn't there. So he's no longer with the program. And then Kobe Pace was supposed to start this game, and he was injured. So Will Shipley had a good day on the ground. So let's focus to this game, and that would be NC State, a team who, by the way, I got laughed at for picking to win the ACC. It looks like I'm still going to be wrong, but I mean, it was not bad of a pick anyway. No big deal. They're coming off a 28-13 win over Louisville, a team that obviously beat Florida State. They are a good team. They have beaten Clemson. They have beaten Boston College, but they somehow lost recently 31-30 to Miami. Not 100% sure how that happened. They're the 56th best offense in the NCAA, which doesn't sound great, but there's a lot of teams in the NCAA. They're led by Zonovan Knight, who is their running back, 5.4 a carry. He won the offensive player of the game in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl last year. I don't know if anybody remembers that or was at that game, but he ran all over Kentucky in that one. Their quarterback, Devin Leary, has thrown 21 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, so he's been quality. But they win games on defense. They're the 6th best defense in the country. So, Austin Lane, is that considered great, good, or where does that –
I'm sorry, 6th best defense you said?
6, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of schools in this country, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably say great. Now, it's not like being number 2, where Brent might say maybe they're okay or good if you're number 2 in the nation. But, the way I think of schools and being ranked, I think they're pretty great.
I like to hear you say that. So they give up 16.2 a game, so obviously 10 more than Georgia, who is the number 1 defense. But this is fascinating to me.
By far.
We go to the numbers because it's Casey's segment, though. Sorry, Casey, keep going.
All good. On average, per game, they allow 0.1 rushing touchdowns per game. That breaks down to 1 rushing touchdown in 8 games. They've let the other team carry the ball 245 times. They've allowed 1 touchdown.
Wow.
So that's not good for Florida State.
No.
No, especially on the heels of not running it well. Maybe their running game isn't as good as we thought. We'll find out.
We will find out. Drake Thomas is the guy that's leading NC State. He leads their team in sacks with 4. He had 9.5 last year. He also has 2 interceptions. He plays outside linebacker, so you might want to figure out where he is before you snap the ball if you're Jordan Travis. In this game specifically, NC State, both of their losses this year have come on the road. If I didn't mention, this game is in Tallahassee, so that's a start. They have scored 27 or more points in all but 1 game, and that was the game they beat Clemson. They've scored 30 or more in 5 games, and they do not allow anywhere near that amount of points. The line on this one is mostly going to be 2.5 for the plus side on Florida State. You might be able to find it at 3 or potentially 2. Plus 115 on most sites. However, on the Hard Rock book, which is now something you can do in Florida if you so choose, you can find them at plus 110. The over-under most places is 56. However, Hard Rock has it at 55.5. If I'm playing on that scenario, give me NC State with the points. I think NC State is really good, and I still need them to win the ACC somehow. I don't know how that's going to work itself out. Wake Forest is going to have to lose a couple times, but I think NC State's a good team. I think Florida State's going to be in trouble. You keep it close, and you never know what happens, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, especially with the rushing stats for NC State. The game is on ESPN 690. Kickoff is at 4 for some reason, so that means the coverage will start at 2, not 3:30, but 4. And that was your Florida State report, sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue and Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue.
Nicely done, man.
Yeah, well done, as always. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's interesting because Casey, during that during that breakdown there, obviously we talked about Georgia, and then I made a little comment about Wisconsin, and then Brent said a little comment because that's what he does when he talks about the Wisconsin Badgers defense and disrespecting Jim Leonhard. But it's very interesting here because I'm on the footballdatabase.com right now, and I'm looking up team defense, and this is actually some breaking news right now, exclusive ESPN 690 content. The Wisconsin Badgers have moved from number 2 to number 1 now in the country in team defense. They give up 40 in team defense. They give up 49.6 yards rushing, and they give up 145 yards passing a game. That's good for 194.9. That is good for first place right now. Ooh, Georgia just missed out at 204 yards per game. So Wisconsin, number 1 in team defense now in the NCAA. A lot of schools there, Casey, right?
Give up
how many points? They give up 17 points a game. And Georgia gives up 6.6. Huh?
How can you be... I mean, that's not a lot of points, but how can you be number 1 that just seems odd, right?
Yards, yeah. I mean, this is going by yards. Usually in team defense, you go by yards per game. And Wisconsin right now is the number 1 team defense in the entire country.
How about
how many schools?
Per play, Georgia's still number 1.
Yeah, but we're talking about team defense, though, is what I was alluding to. Now, Casey, how many schools are in this country?
SEC, it just means more.
I guess so. How many schools are in this country, Casey, in terms of football? Do you want, how many?
Isn't it like 150 something?
Okay,
so it's 124, 32, something like that.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call it even 130. So there's 132 schools, and Wisconsin's ranked number 1 out of 130 schools. Is that great?
No,
is that
not
great?
When you give up 17 a game.
Is that great? Is that great though? Pretty great.
They need to change the way they do the stats. I'm sorry.
I know the stats. That's a stupid stat.
Here come the haters.
Because listen, they've given up 17 touchdowns. And Georgia's given up 6.
Oh,
it's not even close.
Yeah, but Wisconsin's playing high-quality offenses. Who's Georgia playing?
Yeah, high-quality offenses.
I'm sorry, South Carolina.
Hey, by the way, if what's his name? Graham Mertz has, if he needs to be benched, you could always go get Chubba Purdy if you're Wisconsin.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Trevor Purdy get ruined, because that's what's going to happen. Like, we keep thinking it's going to be like the next Russell Wilson. It's not going to happen. Any quarterback that plays for Wisconsin gets ruined. I don't want to see Purdy get ruined. I don't know who he is, but he seems like a nice guy. Go be successful someplace else.
He's going to be, write this down now, he's going to be very good.
Yeah.
How does Wisconsin, with numbers like that,
here come the haters.
Losses?
Here come because the Wisconsin offense is less than to be desired.
Where are they in total team offense, just for fun?
Oh, you want that team offense?
Can't be very good. Let's hope it's not.
No, it's not good at all. Like, I mean, yeah, it's not good. I don't know. Casey, I don't know.
Like,
Brent's still on the.
Who else does Wisconsin have?
What do you mean?
Who do they play?
I mean, they just played
will they
Iowa.
lose again?
Was Iowa? I think Wisconsin. Do they play Michigan State this year? I don't even know, Brent.
Yeah. Who?
I don't even know, man. What do you mean die hard? I don't know.
Call, hey, Casey,
They
in the
just
break,
played
can we call the
Iowa.
pickle? Can we
They
call
just
the
played
pickle and get the
Iowa.
schedule for Wisconsin? Because obviously nobody cares around here.
I mean, they're 5-3. They're seventh in the Big Ten right now. You know, it's kind of, but their defense is fantastic. So they're playing Rutgers, and you laugh like I'm lying. They play Rutgers, Northwestern, Nebraska, Minnesota, bringing home Paul Bunyan's axe.
Yeah, they shouldn't have much problem with that schedule,
they should win
really.
out.
I mean, they really should win out.
They don't win out. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing.
That's whatever. You know, Iowa's a good team. 7 points. Whoops.
Hey,
Purdue,
has anybody with the
what do you got?
number one team defense
What do you got?
ever been seventh in the Big
What do you
Ten?
got? What do you want when you have Graham Mertz as your quarterback, Brent? I don't know what to tell you. It's not Jim Leonard's fault. It's not that defense's fault.
Yeah.
They need
Number
Stetson
one out
Bennett
of-
the fourth. That's
yeah,
what they need.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Number one in the country. It feels good to hang your hat on something, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, it
tell you what.
really does. But that schedule, by the way, they might finish number one in the country.
Played Penn State. You know, remember, though? Penn State, high-powered offense. Michigan, high-powered offense. You know,
Who says
Iowa.
Penn State has a high-powered offense?
I did. I just said
you just
that.
made that
I
up.
literally
Okay.
just said that
Okay.
like 4 seconds ago.
Yeah, no, I was just checking to see if there was any background source. Trust me, bro.
Hey,
Trust
go
me,
check
bro.
the film. I just said it.
I'll check
okay.
By the way, you can save all this talk for your buddy AP. He doesn't listen until 4:30 on Fridays.
No, man. I'm saying this for myself. Being a proud Wisconsinite. I think it's what we call ourselves, Wisconsinites.
Wisconsinites.
Wisconsinians? Yeah, Wisconsinites.
Wisconsinites. Yeah. We'll be back. The fighting pickles. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from String Sports Brewery.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jacks. If you can't catch the show live, just search Action Sports Jacks wherever you get your podcasts to make sure you don't miss moments like this.
Now, keep in mind, you're sitting next to Mr. Thanksgiving right now because I absolutely stuffed the stat column.
You sure did.
And they called me Mr. Thanksgiving.
Nobody
I don't want to
called
brag.
you. Nobody called you that.
I don't want to brag.
You called yourself that. Maybe.
I don't want to brag. We're talking 4 points.
Yep.
We're talking 2 rebounds.
Yep.
We're talking a steal.
Okay.
We're talking a block.
Yep.
And I almost broke a guy's ankle. I'm just saying, if you find yourselves around some Jacksonville Giants and all of a sudden one of them starts saying, is that stovetop dressing?
Oh, jeez.
What is that? What is that? Is that cranberry sauce? Oh, Mr. Thanksgiving's in the house. And that's who you know they're talking about me.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Boss, got some bad news in the Crooks R Us newsletter.
Uh-oh, what is it?
The headline reads, Safe Touch Security proven to be more dangerous to crooks than ever before.
Let me guess. Is it the guaranteed response? No, it's gotta be the two-way communicator, right?
Actually, it's the new integrated Safe Touch Security video cameras.
Ah, great. Safe Touch up in their game again.
Boss, now the homeowner gets notified on the Safe Touch app if someone even approaches their house.
It just doesn't seem fair.
Nowadays, getaway cars aren't even safe. Those Safe Touch systems catch everything.
Well, the good news is it doesn't change a thing. We still just stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Uh-huh.
Remember that and everything will be fine. Now, for a limited time, the Safe Touch Advantage plan includes free equipment and installation for new customers with an Advantage monitoring agreement. The Safe Touch doorbell camera, a $200 value, can be added for just $99. Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-664-0353. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-664-0353 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-664-0353 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-664-0353.
Mr. and Mrs. Flavor, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. I'm Barry, the flavor of berry.
I'm Janet. I'm bitter.
And I understand your son is the flavor menthol?
Yes, he's the menthol in a menthol cigarette.
He's such a disappointment. Out there getting people addicted, being used by big tobacco to target black people. He could have been a lozenge.
Menthol cigarettes are harder to quit than regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
From city streets to back roads. From road warrior to carpooler. There are some things you can always count on. Like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax. And after you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Thursday Night Football as Mike White and the New York Jets travel to Indy to take on the Colts. Coverage starts at 8 right here on ESPN 690.
Wow, you know it?
Huh?
You know it?
A little bit, but here's what I do know, Brent. I mean, if you're a Florida Gators fan, let's be honest, your season's in the dumpster. If you want to watch a true defense play because Georgia wasn't good enough for you, check out the Wisconsin Badgers at Rutgers, 3:30 on Saturday. Rutgers, obviously, one of a very prolific, high-scoring offense, averaging about 23.6 points per game. Dang. We'll see how Bucky can handle that being on the East Coast playing at Rutgers. Be a good test for the Badgers there to really showcase their
big
defense.
Test in New Jersey, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For Rutgers.
This is the request-only hour of rejoiners, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We should do a request of fight songs. That would be nice, right? That'd be kind of good.
Feels good being in first place, Brent. Now, I didn't go to Wisconsin, obviously, but just it feels good being in first place.
By the way, I don't know, like, my alma mater from high school. Like, I remember it. Like, I remember doing it, and hopefully they gave me a little flyer to tell me the words. And then, like, from college, and it's not like Ashland University has, like, the Notre Dame fight song and stuff, you know. But I don't know any of that stuff. Like,
wait,
it's obviously at a bigger level. Like I would never know Wisconsin's. Like, I know Notre Dame's, and like I don't know word by word Notre Dame stuff, but I mean, obviously you know some of the most popular ones around the country.
Yeah.
But I don't even know I didn't know my alma mater or whatever at East Providence High School, or I mean, it wasn't a fight song, but
how do you
know like yours?
Yeah. How do you not know your collegiate one?
Because I went to Ashland University. I'm not really sure. Like,
I went to Murray State.
Yeah, I'm not really sure it was like this big thing.
Oh.
We were out, in the quad, singing it.
I mean, we had to sing.
Our football team sucked.
Okay. I don't know if you're basically because like we had to sing after every single game whether we won or lost, and there's nothing more demoralizing as a team when you just got beat by like 30 by Jacksonville State, and now you have to go to your sideline and then sing the fight song and try to put a smile on. Like that was always a rough one.
Hey, that's you guys and FSU.
Yeah,
Jacksonville State. You got that in common.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Hey, the Icemen are sold out Saturday night, so that's pretty cool. And speaking of hockey, Jack Eichel been traded from Buffalo to Vegas.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do get what you want.
I guess, well, the players usually get what they want at the end of the day. It just depends how long they have to wait. Like Deshaun Watson, he'll get what he wants.
Yeah.
Just has to wait a year for it. So how big of a move in the NHL today is that?
I mean, it's a huge move. I thought Calgary was going to be the favorites because right now Calgary's probably the best team in the entire NHL. They have an MVP type guy in Johnny Hockey right now, Johnny Gaudreau as they call him. But the Golden Knights are a team that they're 4-5 right now. The season's still very young. They're going to make a playoff push as well. And now adding Eichel to the team is definitely going to boost their chances of having a pretty successful season.
Yeah, and with Eichel, I think it's fascinating because it's not like he's going to play tomorrow night. He still has a surgery to get done. And the big part of this trade was, and Calgary was in on this as well, is the Sabres did not want him to have a certain surgery that he wanted. So part of this trade was the team that was trading for him had to give him assurance that he could get whatever surgery he wanted. And Vegas gave him that, so that's another reason why this move gets done. But we're still a long way away from seeing Jack Eichel play hockey this year. They're thinking around the Olympic break. But if Vegas can put themselves in a position, which they will, to make a playoff run, there's not a better guy to have join your team at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, another topic, Bryson on Twitter said, hey, can you guys talk about this today? And I think it's an interesting topic. The CAA, Colonial Athletic Association, will not allow James Madison teams to compete for league championships this year if the school accepts an invitation to join another conference. Do you think that should happen? The Dukes are expected to formally move to the Sun Belt, by the way. And you know what? I wondered why the Big 12 would even put Oklahoma and Texas on TV over the next couple years. Now, they're the two marquee schools, their ratings, it's money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of get where they're coming from. Like, why would I cater to a team that's about to leave, that doesn't think we're good enough, like the conference is good enough? Like, why would I do anything that would benefit that school? I don't know how much bad blood has lived there before with James Madison, but I'll just tell you this. I thought of this when it comes to Oklahoma and Texas. Like, Oklahoma and Texas, I'm the Big 12, but they might, like, basically burn my conference down because they're leaving.
Yeah.
And I'd be ticked off at it. I'd do everything in my power I could to make Oklahoma and Texas not get the benefits of my other schools that are being loyal.
Yeah, I think, from the James Madison perspective, it does make sense. But you got to remember, like, Oklahoma and Texas, I mean, how much money do those games bring you from
that's the thing,
like,
right?
and do you really want to, do you really want to try to make a point and puff your chest and lose out on millions and millions of dollars because you're trying to, stick it to Oklahoma and Texas even though they're leaving regardless? I don't know.
Yeah.
But James Madison does make sense because, I mean, how much money are you making off them,
Yeah, probably not. And by the way, maybe if conferences were to do this, they would – at least discourage or make you think twice about moving and jumping conferences so much.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the A-Sun almost went defunct because so many people were moving around and football was starting up and all this. Well, now they figured it out. They've made it into like a big conference, like a lot more schools, and basketball should be really good. And so they've really saved it, and it looked like it was going extinct. And so this happens in some of these conferences. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know if it's just kind of like this vendetta I would have if I was the commissioner in the conference. But I'd be ticked off if I'm those other schools.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be upset for sure. I mean, we'll see what the Big 12. We'll see what happens, man. I have no idea what's going to happen with them.
I would do no favors for Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC because they seriously could, like, burn the Big 12 down because they're leaving.
Yeah, like, but I mean, if the ship's going down, definitely get all the money that you can before it goes down.
That's fair. Use them. There's a point to be right. Use them as much as you can.
Oh, I'm using them. Yeah.
All right. Hey, football at 5. Deshaun Jackson's available. Should the Jags have any interest? And we've asked that question twice this week, but he's now really available. Who will get him? And football at 5 rolls on from String Sports Brewery here on ESPN 690.
Sick of of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every $1, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is accused by team employees of overseeing a toxic and sometimes hostile workplace. Allegedly, Sarver has used racially insensitive and lewd language and displayed inappropriate and misogynistic conduct. The vice chairman of the Suns, Jam Najafi, has released a statement saying that the alleged conduct is unacceptable and that he expects full accountability. Packers wideout Davante Adams is back with the team today after missing 10 days on the COVID-19 list. Adams should be ready to play Sunday against the Chiefs. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers is out after testing positive for COVID-19. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
This would be a really good time if they want to kind of keep this relationship going with Aaron to say, hey, our bad, our fault, this was all our fault, we should have been more diligent, this was not about Aaron. As opposed to the other way where, hey, Aaron, we told him, he just wouldn't follow the rules. We kept telling him.
Jeff Darlington on Key J and Max. Bears coach Matt Nagy has now cleared COVID-19 protocols.
Sign up with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, and use code CJR to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I mean, it's always a good opportunity when you're playing a great team. You got a good opportunity to go out there and show what you can do and go beat a really good team. But every week, I mean, any team can beat you. You see the Seahawks had lost a few in a row. and we came in and laid an egg, played terrible, and they killed us. So stuff like that. I mean, every week you come ready and play your best to win. And so doesn't matter who you're playing. That's the motivation, is that you can get beat any week, and you can beat anyone any week. So that's how we look at it. But it's definitely exciting to get an opportunity to play them because they've been playing so well.
That's Trevor Lawrence. He's been consistent with that, too. I mean, the competitor can't wait to play the Buffalo Bills. I'm not sure Jags fans feel the same way.
Yeah.
But it's a week-to-week game, really, the NFL is. The football is in high school and college. And really in the NFL, it's a week-to-week league. I mean, it's a great cliche because it is. I've always been stunned by this. It's one of the – in my career, I always bring this up from time to time that – just the way you guys, I say, Austin, as a former player, are programmed to just erase it from your memory 24 hours later and then move on to the next, where the fans and people in the media are still talking about it on a Thursday from String Sports Brewery in Springfield about what happened 5 days ago and what might happen on Sunday because of what happened 5 days ago, Now, in fairness to all of us, and the Jags fans, the Jags have a heck of a lot more evidence than just 5 days ago. They've got about 2 years and maybe 14 years of evidence to say you should be concerned about Sunday.
Yeah.
And Trevor's not like that. He's only got about 7 games worth. So it is a pretty wild mental gymnastic game of football in general, but really the NFL. And I've just always been wild. It's so different than what we do on the outside of the building versus how the players on the inside deal with that. And Trevor's already figured that out early on in his career, and most of that probably even just from playing the game of football for so long.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with winning and losing in the league. I think that if you're accustomed to winning a lot, it makes the next week in terms of your game planning and looking forward to your next opponent, it makes it that much easier because you're coming off feeling good. When you lose a game or when you get blown out like you did in Seattle, like that lingers with you a little more. And when the losses start piling up, that lingers with you a little more. And it's almost, and it's the cliche of the NFL. You got to play next play. Well, when Tuesday hits, it's time to think about Buffalo. It's just, it gets hard, though, when you keep losing games and you lost someone like you did to Seattle. That's a rough one to say, okay, we're on to the next one now because, well, you have to learn from your mistakes as well. You have to address those mistakes.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, we're just talking about the conference thing, and Brian Copham was listening and tweets in. And he brings up a really good point. Now he's got me thinking about the kids, damn it. I want to screw the conference over. I mean, the school over, the program over. But he says, I thought the same things when teams left the conference, but when you're punishing the kids who had nothing to do with it, and it will be harder to get teams to join your conference if they know you're going to be spiteful if you ever leave. So it's kind of like the same deal, like if you hate your job and you're leaving it, you probably shouldn't flip anybody off on the way out, I mean,
I don't know. We'll see.
It might catch up to you.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe not. I mean, maybe it doesn't.
Who knows? Maybe I go viral. I get famous off it. We'll see.
Yeah. Brian L. says you can absolutely make it more difficult on them, like not letting them host championship-type events or make things difficult, but to ban them altogether is pretty rough. And again, that goes to the kids. It's not – the kids had nothing to do with it, right? I mean, they signed up to play, and now all of a sudden there's this business going on behind the scenes. So that's a fair point, probably a good way to look at it, and probably the way most do look at it. I do think, though, and again, I use the A-Sun as a little bit of an example, and there's probably some more examples and better examples on the conference stuff. You have to be careful to create a slippery slope and say, hey, it's okay. Because unless you know other schools are coming in, and then you can replace them, well, that one school leaving might create this domino effect. And so I think you do have to be cognizant of that. And if they feel, and they might not, by the way, the Colonial Athletic Association has been around a while, have a lot of teams to choose from. It's not just a James Madison conference. But if they feel like this is a team and a program and a school that's so vital to them and they think others will go once they go, they don't want to set the precedent, then maybe dinging them a little bit is the way to go and send a message.
Yeah.
And so that's a pretty wild scenario. It's probably there's a lot of – I'm probably not thinking of a lot of different things on that topic.
Yeah.
But I appreciate Bryson on Twitter who brought that up because I didn't see that, first of all. And secondly, I think it is kind of fascinating. College sports in general right now are just so fascinating on a lot of levels of where it's headed, where it's been. It ain't your granddaddy's college sports, that's for sure. anymore. Hey, last night I'm driving home, leaving work. I don't know, it's midnight-ish or something, and I see a guy on Beach Boulevard on a four-wheeler doing a wheelie.
Nice.
Right down the middle lane.
I mean, that's smart, but
I mean,
cool.
I thought it was like, because I was getting, like, where we're coming from the station, I was going St. John's Bluff, taking a right onto Beach Boulevard, and then I'm going to hop on 295. And so I hear, like, this revving up like it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I look over, and this guy's, like, right next to me.
Yeah.
doing a wheelie. And by the way, dumbass, I mean, he's got no helmet on or anything. So I'm like, what are you doing, you know? But at the same time, I would say Duval things, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's completely Duval things for sure. Yeah. Well, and a four-wheeler, I mean, usually you see you see crotch rockets, you see dirt bikes every once in a while. Shout out to the 12 O'Clock Boys, by the way. If you ever see that documentary, it's a pretty cool documentary in terms of guys that do that. But the ATV is a little more of a rare occurrence, I feel like.
Yeah, wheelie on an ATV, that's not easy, probably. By the way, ATVs they're so dangerous. You hear so many times ATV accidents. They're so fun,
yeah,
but they're also a ton, bad accidents.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also three-wheelers are even worse. And I grew up riding on some three-wheelers, and I don't know how those things even got passed by law in the first place, but those things, I mean, I don't think they make them anymore, as they shouldn't, but that's just an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, no doubt. I did get some great responses, though, is what I'm trying to find. I got some responses.
Do you think Brent called the cops on him, Casey?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I didn't have time to.
Okay.
I don't know. I missed something. I have to ask Jihad Ward about this.
Okay.
But right away, people said Hattie, which is Jihad Ward on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's kind of his nickname. And Palm Beach, our buddy from Palm Beach Autographs, Martin Buckley, said, always good to see you, man.
Nice.
Scott said, Hattie out there living his life. He said something else there, too.
Okay.
What are we doing? Why are you doing wheelies on Beach Boulevard? It wasn't me. Skylar says, the boat's last ride before Green Bay.
Like that.
This guy says, I'm sure we've all seen him. Yeah, probably have. It's probably not the first time.
Yeah.
Jim says, I remember a time when there was a bull on the loose on Beach Boulevard at midnight.
A bull?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he said. And then this one follows up, actually. Rainy Dog 11 says, wasn't long ago. That was a dirt road. Like, how long ago would Beach Boulevard have been a dirt road?
No idea.
I don't either. I have no idea. Like, I know a lot of places down where I live were dirt roads, and it wasn't long ago. It was like in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
But I don't know when Beach Boulevard would have been a dirt road, or if they were just kidding right there. But pretty funny. And then, on top of it, Jihad Ward, he did see it, or somebody let him onto it, and he just said, that was me.
Oh, nice. So it was Jihad Ward then.
Hey, listen, I can guarantee this, all right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Jihad Ward.
Okay. Okay.
I saw the guy.
Well, you saw the guy. He wasn't wearing a helmet, so it's pretty easy to tell, as you were saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope not, because you just called him a certain word that I don't think Jihad Ward would take kindly to.
That's a good point.
And I don't think you would have called it if it was him, because he could, snap you in half.
It's a great point. Yep.
So anyway, somebody reads. So I'm reading Jihad Ward's thing. He said, somebody says, you ditched me when you hit that jump, but I can't believe you landed that flip. I mean, this became like a thing. Like,
what color was the
I don't
ATV?
Understand. Oh, shoot. No, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. I was wondering what they're rocking.
I'm not opposed to, by the way, it all caught me by surprise so quickly that normally I wouldn't mind stopping and taking a picture or something, or a video, and be like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, yeah.
But I just didn't even have time to do that. Like, it didn't.
He's trying to grab his phone to call the police.
So
I wouldn't call the police, but I mean, the guy's an idiot, right? I just hope we don't read about him the next day.
That'd be less
people
fun.
are crazy, man. I mean, you do a wheelie with no helmet on in the middle of Beach Boulevard at midnight. I mean, come on, don't be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are stupid decisions. That's one of them. Okay.
No, for sure.
I don't want to be reading about you on the on Action News this morning.
Yeah.
Or listening to you. So. What I don't know, and somebody else might know out there, like, why did everybody rope Jihad Ward into this?
I don't know. Is Jihad Ward does he ride ATVs or does he ride crotch rockets?
I don't know. Like, I don't have to ask him. I miss that. Like, that thing is over my head and under my feet. Like, I don't know. I miss that whole part of it. Maybe it's something he does on Instagram. Like, I don't follow and read a lot of it. Or maybe it's something he said before on Twitter. But I don't know why. Like, the instant reaction to that tweet was Jihad Ward.
Yeah. I mean.
And he played along nicely, too.
No, yeah, he definitely played the role. I mean, I don't know if it's just the fact of, he's kind of seems like the wilding. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah,
I was going to say.
Dang.
In a 4-second Instagram search, he rides four-wheelers.
I mean, definitely.
So he does.
And he's doing a wheelie in this one.
Are you watching the video?
No, I'm on Instagram, though. I don't have Instagram myself. I just typed in Jihad Ward.
There's a video. So that thing that you're looking at is a video, and he's doing a wheelie in what looks like an industrial park? I don't know.
That would be Jacksonville, right?
Well, May 30th. Yeah, May 30th.
Well, at least he was doing it in May and not in, like, September.
Well, would he have been here in May? Yeah. April, May. Yeah, he would have been here in May. Wait, no.
Yeah, there's no location, so.
Do we know when Jihad Ward got signed here, Brent?
He would have been signed in March.
Okay. So
he would have been here in May.
Okay.
Now that reminds me of Jihad Ward. Be careful now. That's like the old.
Oh dang, he's good.
I don't want to. I hate to bring this up, but I mean that's like. Didn't Ben Roethlisberger get in trouble for like violating contract stuff?
No, for sure. Well, yeah, because he almost killed himself on a crotch rocket. Yeah.
It was a little bit different situation.
Well, yeah, because Ben
link the two together.
No, and Ben's not an athlete here. I mean, I'm watching Jihad Ward do this thing, and he's very impressive.
He's pretty good at it.
You don't remember what was him?
Brent's backtracking.
Yeah,
he's like, I didn't call him that.
Yeah, let's not say it was him.
Did you hear the part where I said it was definitely not him?
Okay,
no,
but
we heard you.
Yeah, we heard you. But I'm just saying, this dude, Jihad Ward.
There's one reason why it was definitely not him.
How wasn't this more talked about? This is an impressive video. This is an impressive wheelie right here. Brent, you got to ask him about that.
I will. Next time he's on Jags Report Live, I'll ask him about this. I had no idea about this. It's bad research by our department, I guess.
Oh, and he's got dirt bikes.
What the you all right over there?
Case, he's got dirt bikes, too. He's got a Yamaha.
I saw that.
By the way, Jihad will join us on ESPN 690 a couple times, so maybe we'll speed this thing up and have him on soon.
You got to
so we can ask him about this.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he's all around. He's in the city. Okay, he was in Philadelphia riding around his ATV as well. This guy's all over the place. No.
I was going to say, can I confirm or deny? But yeah.
We'll just go on his Instagram.
Well, hey,
whatever, No, we didn't.
I'm trying to help the guy.
He didn't.
I'm trying to get on his good side after Brent said what he said.
I can't believe Brent snitched on Jihad Ward.
I know. You're not a real one, Brent.
Hey, Casey, are you going to break that right now? Brent calls out Jihad Ward.
Might have to.
Yep.
Listen,
Boulevard.
Jihad Ward snitched on himself. He said that was me.
Now that is true.
Yeah, but that's a good point.
And by the way, I know it wasn't. Okay.
Okay.
Like, this is reminding me of the conversation when
it was dark. Brent, I mean, could you really tell it was dark outside, man?
No, I could tell.
Okay.
It was not Jihad Ward. This is starting to remind me of the conversation when the kids were born, and everybody kept asking me over and over, even like, are they identical twins? I was like, no. I check their diaper every day or change their diaper every day.
Fair.
They're not identical twins,
Fair.
okay?
Fair.
So trust me on this one.
Okay.
That it wasn't Jihad Ward last night.
Good.
But now at least we understand the context of why everybody was saying that. So
this guy's all over the place, Ryan. That's cool.
Woof. All right. What a 5 football.
Doesn't that violate your contract? No.
You'd have to imagine it's got to be in his contract, right? If he's
has to be.
Yeah.
Has to.
It's not like he just bought this and started doing it.
I think those things are loosely in those guys' contracts to begin with, like the baseline of, any, like you can't go skydiving,
Yeah.
Those kind of things because of injury potential. And I think that's what Roethlisberger ran into that time back then. I think it was a contractual problem. And I don't know, I can't remember the exact, that was so long ago, if he lost money or all that stuff. But, yeah, I think you got to be careful of that. Now, would you really work that into your contract? I mean, Jihad Ward didn't sign like a big contract. Like, would that have been like, hey, here's on Roman numeral number 3, letter F, I'm allowed to ride
I mean, I think you would have to.
If it's important to you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm watching as probably like the 20th time I watch this video now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's holding the wheelie for like 15 seconds. I counted.
Yeah, he's doing it.
It's a 15-second wheelie on this ATV.
Cool. New favorite player.
Yeah, definitely my new favorite player. I'm getting a jersey tomorrow.
I'll get one.
I just did my contract, and I'm now disappointed that I didn't put in there that I'm allowed to ride ATVs even if I don't want to. Like, now, next contract, I am adding that. That's going to be a win in my column for the contract with Cox Manufacturing.
Just wear a helmet,
if
Brent.
I have another contract.
Just wear a helmet. Wear a helmet.
Hey, won't have another contract if we don't get to Captain Rick, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report right now. Captain Rick, what's happening? Hope you any helmets on the fishing boats these days?
I tell you, I had your next contract right in my hand. I was just about to rip it up when you finally took me off hold. Honest to gosh, true story. A long time ago, Mark Brunell and I were really dear friends through an organization we had met. And at the time, I had a buddy that was hog hunting with his bare hands. He would literally, the dogs would get the hog trapped, and he would literally go in and take it down. And Mark Brunell wanted to go so bad. And he said, "Do you have any idea what Coughlin would do if I caught a tusk in the leg or something?" He said, "I don't think that would work out very well." So it was not in his contract to hunt hogs by hand. But let's talk a little fishing, because oh my goodness, was it rough today. It did not stop the boats in the El Pescado. I just got off the phone with Captain Jeff Crabtree, who's on the way home. He said it was a solid 7-foot whitecaps all day long, just as tough as the guys could hang in there. But it was the last day of the tournament. Congratulations to Wallace Higginbotham on the Grand Slam as he won the El Pescado again. I think he ended up with 10 sailfish for the 2 days. That's pretty good fishing. I know my buddy Jeff finished in third place with 6. So pretty good sailfish fishing, but only for very big boats, as it was too rough for any of the rest of us to get offshore. It was even rough inshore. It even slowed up red fishing today. Not the fishing itself, but the getting to it was the tough part and holding your position. Now, Guana should have really gone off at Guana Dam today. It did not. The water ran, but I talked to Roger Walker, and they had one real nice trout, but that was it. Sheepshead are stacking up at both jetties right now. It's mostly the smaller males, but they're getting ready for their spawn a little later this winter. So as soon as this wind backs off a little bit, which is not going to come until Monday, I don't think, it's going to be tough fishing, but the fish are biting when we can get to them. And we'll be back to talk about it tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing and CNS Landscaping.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Have a good night, man.
Thank you, boys.
That's Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Check it out each and every day on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Also 7 a.m. on ESPN 690 on Saturday mornings for a couple of hours. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. We've got our Thursday night picks coming up in just a bit. By the way, might not buy a beer tonight because the board is full. So I might get off the hook. But that means other folks that I've bought a beer for will have to come out and get it and redeem it. Stat Boy's on that list. I forget who else is on that list. I got to go find out. I know we got a few of them up there. But you got to have room on the board, Austin.
Got
to be
have
able
room
to
on
put
the board.
a name up there.
Business is booming right now.
I've erased them before, but I can only do that so many times. So,
I got you.
Might take this week off from it. Real quick, Deshaun Jackson cleared waivers. I don't think anybody signed him in the last half hour. We talked about this earlier this week. Doesn't seem like a fit in Jacksonville. Heck, I mean, now you'd think it might be more of a fit in a place like Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, as far as Jacksonville's concerned, I think we're all set there. And would you get the best out of Deshaun Jackson in Jacksonville? Probably not. So I think he would want to go to more of a contender. So, yeah, I mean, maybe the Raiders, depending where they're at as a team now, but I just can't foresee Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't either. Do the Raiders make some sense? Obviously, with the bad news of this week and the tough news of this week.
I mean, I could definitely see the Raiders because they're still in contention, so I could see that.
I mean, teams like the Chiefs and Bucs seem to pick up all these guys.
Yeah, they just don't need Jackson.
Hey, what about the Saints with Michael Thomas out?
Yeah, I mean,
you're just not that impressed with Deshaun Jackson.
No, I'm not. I mean,
right?
occasionally you're going to get that one reception for 70 yards and a touchdown, and then, he goes quiet. So, Yeah, he doesn't really move the needle for me.
Yeah, I hear you. We'll be back. We got our picks coming up as well, and a big story on the NBA too. Plus, Chuck and Shaq had some fun last night. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cool tonight, a little breezy at times under mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s. Rain will develop and increase through the day on Friday. It'll be breezy and unseasonably cool with highs only in the low 60s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit CoraPhysicalTherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One with a Thursday night football preview. AFC action coming up with the Indianapolis Colts hosting the New York Jets. For the Colts, Carson Wentz and Jonathan Taylor lead an offense that has improved weekly, but suffered a setback last week in an overtime division loss to the Titans. Wentz after the game.
We know where we're at. Fortunately, a loss like this, we got a quick turnaround. You know, Thursday night football is always tough on our bodies, but sometimes it's good for your mindset to just move on. We got to learn from it, the mistakes. We got to finish better. I got to finish better, no doubt about that, and we will.
The New York Jets, with Mike White under center for the injured rookie Zach Wilson, pulled off a surprise upset over the Bengals last week for their second win of the season. Brandon Gaudin and Tony Baselli will call all the action of the Jets at the Colts on Thursday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at WestwoodOneSports.com. And remember to listen for the NFL right here all season long.
Are you wasting money on a timeshare you rarely use? Cancel it with Titan Exit Group. Get a free consultation and see how they can stop the never-ending maintenance fees and mortgage payments. In fact, if your timeshare contract is not terminated, you owe nothing, so you have nothing to lose. But those monthly fees. Get legally released from your timeshare, 100% guaranteed. Call now for your free consultation at 800-200-0894. 800-200-0894.
Hey,
Frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, zero heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. Zero heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900. 800-507-4900.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
One thing I would note is staffers there described seeing investigations play out in Dallas and with the Clippers and feeling that, particularly over a 17-year period, why has nothing been done here? Not necessarily just laying that at the feet of the NBA, but why has no one done anything and more or less left us on an island and allowed aspects of this culture and of this workplace to persist? So there's the timeline is something, for as many questions as I asked for the story, that is probably the key question that so many people ask me, is how come nothing has ever been done? Mm-hmm. How come no one's ever been held to account?
I don't know who that is. Obviously talking about the Suns and the NBA and the latest news. I mean, you have the Washington football team, you have the Suns, you had the Clippers in the past, you had Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks as well. I'm missing some, right? I mean, who else? Are we going to get – listen, the old way of doing things was not the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more examples do we need?
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's in a lot of the walks of life. There's been so much that has changed over these last couple of years, maybe a handful of years. I mean, the amount of people – I don't want to say not afraid to talk. I'm sure there's still some petrified to talk and share stories, but they're more willing, mm-hmm. and there are more people listening to those stories too, and ready to listen to those stories. So the Suns are the latest example, man. I mean, I just feel like there's a couple of things on this front. I mean, we wouldn't normally be talking about the Phoenix Suns. We wouldn't normally care about the Phoenix Suns. But this NBA story is become the NBA story of the day. And what I think is bigger than the NBA. I think it's bigger than the Suns. I think it has to do with all these other franchises, what we've seen over the last handful of years, over the last couple of years, and what we're about to see. because I think we're going to see more. I think we're going to see more people doing it the wrong way. That's not doesn't mean everybody's doing it the wrong way, but I think people are about to get exposed for doing it the way they've done it and not a good workplace environment, quite frankly. And that doesn't have to be in sports. That could be in any walk of life. I think we've already seen that in other facets, in businesses, in CEOs, and in ownership across corporate America, too. Yeah. And so this is what I hope, though, doesn't happen, and I think we have to be careful of this, is we kind of become a little numb to it, because now it's like, okay, that happened, and there, too. Okay, what else is happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. You know, it's I don't know. It's, you know, what's coming out, whether, you know, it was the racist claims or the sexist claims, you know, I mean, obviously, once the investigation is concluded and, you know, the Suns have said that they're going to, you know, abide by all the investigations and help whichever way they can. But once it's all brought to the light, you know, it's another black eye in the world of professional sports. And then we're seeing this in every sport. You know, I mean, the Chicago Blackhawks right now are going through their own thing. And that there is horrible. And I guess, like, I don't want to say that we can never get too numb to this. Like, we always have to take these things very seriously, and people have to come forward. But it's always weird when these people aren't comfortable enough to come forward when this is taking place. You know, like the situation with the Blackhawks, it's something that occurred, you know, I think 5, 6, 7 years ago.
A decade ago.
Oh, a decade ago. And, you know, the thing in Phoenix, I mean, this occurred, I believe it was, you know, some of it was last year. But, you know, there's never a right time to come forward. I guess I just hope that we get to the point where when these things happen right in live time, someone can go in and say, hey, you can't do that. And it ends right there. And those people are held accountable right there. And we're not waiting on investigations, and we're not waiting on. I mean, listen, I hope things get found out. I hope it's a fair and just process, whatever the case may be. But I just wish these things would happen, you know, in real time, and those people held accountable, where people aren't afraid to come forward and are afraid of the people that are put in power.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think we're getting to a world that we may see that more in, I don't know about real time, but quicker time.
Yeah.
Right now it still feels like it's almost like for lack of a better explanation, almost feels like a class action kind of lawsuit, in the sense that, and you get enough people, right? Because maybe it's hard if you have one or two folks. It's easier for the corporate America side or the professional sports ownership group or whatever it might be to say, oh, that's he said, she said. They've got higher and more powerful lawyers and all that stuff. Well, when you have 70 people say something, that certainly is louder and more profound and systemic and all those things. So I don't know if that's true or not, Austin. I mean, listen, maybe HR departments are more aware of it now, right? Yeah. And maybe that's the case on the lower level of things. But in terms of getting the headline, making change, being held accountable, it might take a number of people to do it. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might. And we are seeing it in all forms and fashions. Again, this isn't just a professional sports thing. This is a corporate America thing, for lack of a better way to at least put a blanket around everything. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, the other part of it, why wouldn't people say something in the past? Well, a lot of jobs in corporate America, and especially in professional sports, are very high-paying jobs. You know? I mean, it's a good way to make a living. And so I think not only maybe a he said, she said thing, maybe not only did this really happen and kind of a sense of denial to oneself or a sense of shock, but also, well, I'm going to lose a 6-figure job potentially, you know, or whatever that is.
Well, yeah, but there's also the fear, I think, of being ostracized, where it's like, if you do come forward, then would you get another job like that again? Like, what would another company, you know, bring you on in sort of the same capacity? And I think if we're talking about 10 years ago, you might be ostracized, and you might, you know, have a hard time finding that. I just hope that the times have changed a little bit, where if you do come forward and you do have an issue, you do speak about it, and then you get another opportunity someplace else.
Yeah, I think times are changing. I don't think that makes everything perfect. Mm-hmm. But I do think times have certainly changed. I was thinking about this the other day, Austin. It is not – I mean, it feels like it's been a long year and a half. If you go back and think about that April, May, June, July, August, September. So 18 months ago, the pandemic started. So we spent a lot of our conversations on this show around sports stopping, the pandemic, and then into a movement that was very effective in Black Lives Matter from here in Jacksonville to beyond in other sports. And so that was like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it feels like a long time ago almost. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I haven't seen anything really written on it or anything like that. And maybe there has been. Maybe there's a documentary out there. Maybe something's been written on it. But I feel like that worked. And now, I'm not an African-American male. I don't know if I am even justified to say that. What I mean by I feel like that time when we were all talking about it, not just here on ESPN 690, but everybody really across America and continues to talk about issues and things, and it was brought up. I feel like I shouldn't say it worked because that seems past tense and it's done. I feel like there's been movement. There's been some change, awareness, some of those things. I can't sit here and tell you from a tangible, hey, this.
Yeah.
But I feel like that movement was so powerful and strong, and at a time when everybody's attention was, kind of stuck in their house, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like there was some in sports world, and we did see some carryover with maybe some of the things the NFL did. I mean, the whole admission of Roger Goodell was a powerful thing, So I don't know from a concrete level how much has changed since last year. But I feel like that movement had a big impact on how we are now moving forward. And sure, are there still things to do? Absolutely. There will be for decades probably to even come. But I feel like that was a movement that is in the making and still resonates with me, at least, still on my mind. Like I think about those topics that we were talking about and and what happened here in Jacksonville. And I would think most Americans still do. Most sports fans still do.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's easy to say from a white guy perspective. I feel like that was something that we will look at some point in time in 5, 10, 15 years and say that was the start of something. That was the beginning of change. That helps was a catalyst for change, even if it didn't happen overnight. Well, look where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, you still see. I mean, I think it still resonates on that football field. You see the stickers on the back of the helmets. It takes all of us or end racism. Like you see that everywhere. Whether, it's subliminal or not, but it sticks with us. And yeah, at the end of the day, when you talk about issues like that, as a society, either you're doing things to help or you're doing things to hurt. And either you're as a spoke on the wheel of progress or you're a brake on the wheel of progress. And I think for that time that you were talking about, that was a giant spoke on the wheel of progress. Now it's a wheel. It keeps on going. It has to keep on going, and it never stops. You only hope that it can keep on moving forward in the right direction. But yeah, I think that was a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, by the way, this just in, NBA has launched an investigation into Suns owner Robert Sarver over racism, sexism charges. And so here goes the investigation. I guess what I would say is what's the punishment? What's potentially the punishment? How does it work out? How does it happen? I mean, have we seen enough significant change with the Washington football team? Daniel Snyder's still the owner. He moved ownership over to his wife, essentially.
Yeah.
They were outed for all these wrongdoings.
Yep.
But other than that, if I don't know, I got to be in the building to know if that really changed anything. I'm not sure I can clear as day say that. I'm sure they're on alert now. I mean, they're probably not doing the things that they did over time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what was won necessarily in that. And by the way, all these things, and I've said this before, and on different levels, like even here in Jacksonville or wherever, this is what I say by there are levels of toxicity in sports buildings and corporate America that just, they are the baseline of existence. You know, that they are that. Like, it happens, and I think that does exist. Some people have pushed back on me a little bit on that. I don't think so. I think I'm right on this. I think there is a level of toxicity in every sports building out there, not just the NFL, but other ones too, from egos to big money people to old thoughts to new thoughts to all these clashing ideas. I think that it happens. And I think winning and success hides some of it, compresses some of it, and I think losing exacerbates it and brings it to the forefront. And I don't know why this right now is the time for it in the Suns. It doesn't have anything to do with winning and losing.
Yeah.
But it's just another example of toxicity has existed in that organization for some time.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, what would have happened last year in the NBA Finals if that would have came out? It's crazy that it comes out right now. I do agree with you in terms of, the toxic, masculinity or whatever you want to call it within professional organizations of any sport. I do think there is that there, and it's ironic because we always preach that sports, no matter the level, they reflect everyday life. And we learn these life lessons, which can be true. But at the same time, it is a different atmosphere. It is it's a different environment. And, it starts with the people that have the most money and that are put in charge. We saw this in Washington. We've seen it all over the place, and I think it's just when people, and I don't speak on behalf of every successful businessman in America because that's not fair
true.
At all.
Yeah, that's
not even
people
close.
do it the right way.
That's not even close to being fair. Yeah, some people do it the right way. But I just feel like, depending on if it's an old school way of thinking, if it's not adapting with the times, or it's just being so wrapped up in your ego where you don't even care what's happening around you, there definitely is some of that with some organizations. And, a lot of them are being brought to light. I'm sure there's still some things out there that need to be brought to light on other teams, and hopefully they do. But at the end of the day, you just hope that you can keep on bringing attention to this where it gets to the point where if you're an owner or you're a person of power in these organizations, you're going to think twice about how you act as a member of society.
Yeah, let me be perfectly clear, too. When I say a level of toxicity, and I'm talking about anything. Like, it doesn't have to be to this degree. Yeah. Sexism, racism, like the Washington football team. And so when I bring up the Jags in that context or any franchise, like we were talking just weeks ago about like the urban stuff, right, and what happened. Like that's how we brought up toxicity and how can that exist in a building and when you lose all the time. So there's different levels of it, and obviously there's extreme levels of it. So when I say that exists, what I'm saying is these aren't perfect cultures everywhere just because they're professional sports.
Yeah.
And they're not the best-run businesses all the time across the board. I think there's just a level of some of that stuff. It comes in different ways. And then it comes in extraordinarily bad ways, like the Suns, Washington football team, what was going on even with the Dallas Mavericks, back with the Clippers, those kind of examples of it. So I just want to be clear on that front. I'm not saying every organization has sexism and racism and everything else. I do think it comes in different forms of what I keep saying is toxicity to a degree, with the dollars, the big business, the egos, the everything else that takes place in them. So continue to follow that story. More from the NBA. And how about tonight's picks? Colts and Jets. Doesn't look like a blockbuster now. It doesn't look like a blockbuster, but it can make picking a winner in some of the spread kind of difficult. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
I love football, and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football, and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts: jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper, so many flavors to choose from. And of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
If you have an unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-664-0353. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-664-0353. 800-664-0353. 800-664-0353. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
I'm Alfreda Boney, founder and CEO of Perfectly Suited Career Consulting. I'm proud to be a Jags Chamber member and to serve on the advisory board of the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. The JWBC is innovating and adapting, embracing the digital transformation to serve more women in Northeast Florida. For example, we are launching the Network of Trust program that will mentor and vet female business owners, preparing them to take the next step as a company. For more information, visit JacksChamberFoundation.org.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Thursday Night Football as Mike White and the New York Jets travel to Indy to take on the Colts. Coverage starts at 8 right here on ESPN 690.
Not going to lie, we saw some footage of Zion Williamson that caught your guys' attention, and I'd like to see it now. So this is Zion warming up. We don't have him. It could be another 2-3 weeks, but Chuck, you had a visceral reaction to this.
It looked like me and Shaq had a baby. What they gonna do? I look like I quit. I gotta get. Hey, come on, man. What do it look like, Chuck? Like me and you had a baby.
Am I supposed to talk now? Because I can't hear the sound. Was that Chuck?
Oh, yeah.
And Shaq?
Chuck and Shaq, yeah.
Yeah, Casey, I could hear the music, but I can't hear the sound. So fix something on the board, baby. I was just making fun of Casey's golf pick a little bit, too, when we were coming back. I didn't know we were playing Chuck and Shaq. That was pretty funny, though, wasn't it?
No, absolutely. Casey, what's wrong with your golf pick? Is he losing?
He just made bogey on 18.
Oh.
Yeah, par putt on 18. He's 3 under. He's fine. Your guy's fine, too. Ricky Fowler, he's okay. I mean, he's almost
good.
Those guys are in the mix. I mean, Billy Horschel sitting at 7 under in 3rd place. But
now, is this a one-day tournament, or how does this working?
I'm just used to this spot. It's okay.
Okay. All right. See how that
You
works
heard?
out.
You heard? Jack and Chuck. You
I
heard?
did not
No,
hear.
not you, Austin.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right, it's a Brent thing.
You want to play it again?
No.
It's not a Brent thing. Like, I haven't changed a thing. All I've been doing is eating French fries in the last couple of minutes. That's the only thing that's changed.
Mouth is watering now. Thank you.
You know what's funny about French fries? I go on these Now, I'm not on one right now, but I saw somebody have French fries here at String Sports Brewery. I'm like, and I'm really trying to be pretty good for the most part.
Sure.
Not really with eating French fries. But I go on these kicks sometimes where I'll be like, man, I got to go get some French fries.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't know why it's fries. Like, I never was, like, in love with fries as a kid. Or, you eat fries from McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever else.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like, but once in a while, man, I'm telling you, those fries, I get a craving for.
Come on. Brent,
had 'em today.
best kind of fry and go real quick.
Well, the crinkle fry is the best fry. So, like, the Zaxby's is really good.
Crinkle, are those like the accordion ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no. Okay.
No, they're definitely the best.
This is the end of the conversation. Casey, let's go to Thursday Night Football.
Thank
I can't
goodness.
believe you just said crinkle cut.
So the situation we're not giving him a chance. The situation is this.
You gotta grow up a little bit with some time.
Austin,
what about
Lane-
you guys? What
Oh
kind of
my
fries for
goodness.
you guys?
Curly fries.
Shoestring, curly?
Curly fries, seasoned
curly
curlies.
fries are the worst.
Brent.
They're not good.
Why?
I just don't. I'm not a big fan of the curly fry.
Casey's got to go to Thursday Night Football, man. I'm trying to get us there. I'm sorry I brought up the topic.
What kind of fries?
Any kind. Austin, you're 6-2. Brent, you're 7-1. I'm 4-4. I'm picking first. Jets +10.
I think it's called the Sandwich Shop on Beach Boulevard or something. They have like the best fries. They're really good fries.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
Nice.
Beach down there, like kind of near Southside and Beach, but not exactly on Southside and Beach. I think that's what it's called.
Cut the check.
It's like the famous hot dog place or something. It's weird because I've never had a hot dog there.
Yeah.
But I like their fries.
All right.
So anyway, what did you say about the game tonight? It's the Jets and we're about to talk French fries and the Jets and whoever they're playing. The Colts, right?
Colts, yep, that is correct. Casey made his pick of taking the Jets +10, which I'm a little shocked by, but, I mean, I like it.
Do I go next because I'm the king of fantasy?
Go ahead and go next, Brent.
The over-under is 45.
So he went +10 Jets?
Yep.
Instead of picking the Colts outright?
Yep.
This is correct.
Is this the layup line? I'll take the layup and go with the Colts. I need to go back to my winning ways.
Oh, man.
He's going to be disappointed when he finds out Jonathan Taylor's out tonight.
Is he really? No.
Is he out?
No. No.
I mean, not that it would matter. I'm just saying because that'd be pretty wild because James Robinson could be out. Derrick Henry could be out. I just did a whole thing last night on CBS 47 and Fox 30 about the AFC South running backs. They were maybe the best of any division. And is he really, hurt?
No, I think he's fine. I'll take the over.
Oh.
I think Casey's trying to get in your head a little bit.
Oh, we can't get in my head. I mean, look at the standings.
Well, you just careful now with the standings. I'm only one game behind you. I'll take the over, Casey.
You guys like curly fries, and you're bad at Thursday night picks.
Who likes the accordion-style fries the best?
Crinkle fries. The best.
Crinkle fries.
Yeah, those are great.
Ugh.
Definitely. Used to have those with, fish sticks when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Make
when you're a
them in the
kid.
oven. Ah, yeah.
Eventually, you got to grow up, Peter Pan.
I mean, by the way, French fries are it's like the ultimate kid food.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's absolutely up there.
It's up there.
French fries should bring you back to your days.
I think curly fries have a little more mature palate. You have to have a mature palate to appreciate them.
Yeah, that's very good.
It's all good.
Hey, you can be the mature kid.
Oh, I am.
I'll just be doing wheelies down Beach Boulevard tonight at midnight.
Tajahad, where we'd say what's up.
Hey, have a good night. We have the coaches show coming up for Florida State next, and then Thursday Night Football on ESPN 690. Have a good one. We'll see you on Jaguars All Access from String Sports Brewery, 7 o'clock, Fox 30.